For the first time in 110 years in 2020, there was not a Monon Bell Classic. Thankfully, that streak ends today. The atmosphere, the ambiance, there's nothing like it. Not just in Indiana sports, but frankly on the entire sporting calendar across the country. And we are thrilled on the ISC Sports Network to be the brand new home of the 127th Monon Bell Classic. It is the 8-1 DePauw Tigers against the 6-3 Wabash College Little Giants. We welcome you to the broadcast booth, and I am thrilled to be joined by an alum and former player of both programs. To my left, from the DePauw University class of 2004, it is Brad Wakamerka. On my right, it is Steve Hoffman, Wabash College class of 1985. My name is Greg Rakestraw, and other than the refereeing crew, I may be the only neutral person in the building today. Let's talk about the Tigers first. Brad, this is unique territory for DePauw. They are the conference champions. They know they are playing next week in the Division III playoffs, regardless of what happens in today's game. How does that affect the contest for DePauw?
Well, Greg, you look at the schedule when you come to Wabash or DePauw, and you know what? There's one elephant on that, and it's still the Monon Bell game. That's the big one. Playoffs doesn't matter this week. You know, it's exciting. They know they have an opportunity to extend their season, but this is why you come to DePauw. This is why you come to Wabash to play football. It's to play in this game against friends, ex-high school teammates, in front of people you know, to an audience watching that you know. This is the big one, the playoffs. They'll worry about that tomorrow.
And with that, Wabash has not been the underdog in this series for a while. In fact, the Little Giants have won 8 of the last 10. The underdog role, how does that suit Don Morell's team?
Well, we have not been an underdog till really 2010 when we were underdogs and ended up winning that one as well. And I will start off the day by agreeing with you, Brad. This is an exclamation point on the end of a season, no matter what kind of season you're having. The cliche is, records are out the window, but there's a lot of truth in that because, no matter how your game is going, look, Wabash is reeling, losing 3 of the last 4. But here's a time to salvage the season.
Let's talk about the quarterbacks for each of these two teams. If you're from Central Indiana, you know them well. A fifth-year player, yes, that's rare, a fifth-year player for DePauw, Chase Andrews, the signal caller for the Tigers.
Yeah, and he's been so efficient, and he's been so good in this game, too. His third Monon Bell start, that means a lot in this contest. And look, 19 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. This is a guy that is very efficient with the football. He can run if he needs to. He knows how to get it done in big games. That's why he came back. It's for today to play another Monon Bell and bring another one home.
And Wabash feels they have something special in North Central grad Liam Thompson.
Absolutely. If you enjoy quarterback play, you stay tuned in today because you're going to see 2 great quarterbacks on the field. Liam Thompson, we knew he could throw the ball, but he has really shown a lot with his legs this year.
So by the way, another quarterbacks and talking quarterbacks will be on your screen when we come back, and will be joining us at halftime. More about that in a matter of moments, and we'll check in from the sidelines with the 4th member of our broadcast crew in Derek Schultz. It's the Monon Bell Classic. It's Wabash and DePauw, and it comes your way next on the ISC Sports Network.
Let's talk about Wabash housing. Maybe you think it's the same at every college. Tiny rooms, old buildings, no choice? Think again. We've got 10 residence halls and 10 national fraternities. No matter what you choose, you'll have access to laundry, kitchens, and common rooms with games, TVs, even instruments. Long story short, the choice is up to you. On-campus living is required, but with the options available, you'll know this is home.
At DePauw, our campus is among the 50 most beautiful in the nation, and our student athletes compete in top-of-class and historic venues. Our grounds feature iconic buildings like East College, a 520-acre nature park, and a 5-acre campus farm. Our campus is highly collaborative and connected, with faculty and staff members supporting students, their passions, and their achievements. This is more than just a place, it's who we are. Come visit us and be a Tiger for the day.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is good.
There you
go.
go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
tie the game, they do, with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That in the air. Wrestler!
Whoa!
Shake him up, guys. The coin toss just happened. DePauw won it. They deferred. Wabash will have the football. Captains exchanging pleasantries, and the gentleman that's about to head towards the sideline wearing that black hat, you know him very well. That would be Archie Manning, football legend, president of the National Football Foundation. He is a special guest of Wabash College today. He is the honorary captain for today's game, and he will be joining us at halftime. It is a thrill to have him here. Before we kick this game off, let's welcome the fourth member of our broadcast crew from Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's Derek Schultz. Derek, it's great to have you here.
It's great to be here, guys. 729 days. That's how long it's been since these two rivals met on a football field. And this game obviously is always special, but I had the chance to talk to both head coaches this week. Coach Morrell told me that for the Wabash side of things, this is the culmination of their careers. So to not have it last year left that void. They're literally defined by this game. On the DePauw side of things, with Coach Dietz, kind of the same thing, except he said, look, our mantra hasn't changed this season. We want to control what we can control, and with the way 2020 went for everybody else, that's a good mantra to live by. Just to put it in perspective, sports-wise, how long it's been since this game, the Pacers have gone through 3 head coaches. Tom Brady has played 4 and against the New England Patriots, and our buddy Greg Rakestraw has called about 7,000 sporting events unofficially.
Derek, thank you very much. We look forward to checking you at halftime. Derek will talk to both head coaches during the course of our halftime show and talk with the winning head coach and a key winning player at the end of this game. Before we kick this thing off, Mr. Hoffman, the floor is yours. Tell us about the all-new Navarro Field and the gorgeous remake of Little Giant Stadium.
Oh, this is unbelievable. Brad and I were talking just a little while ago. Look, I've been here all fall, coming here and doing games and other events up here, and every time I'm up here, I'm like, I cannot believe I'm in a Little Giant Stadium that I've been around my entire life. It is one impressive facility. We have 4 suites up here. We have some box seats. We have a lounge people can come to and get some food and drink. And I want to thank Kevin Clifford, class of 1977, for providing the impetus with his gift to get that done. He wanted to name it after his college coach. He was a quarterback here, Frank Navarro, which is so it's Frank Navarro Field at Little Giant Stadium.
To tell you how great this facility is, all of the DePauw folks have been tremendously complimentary of the new digs here at Wabash.
You don't have to put me on the spot like that, Greg, but yeah, absolutely. This is amazing. This is just a beautiful facility for Division III football and for fans to come and enjoy it. Now, I'm thrilled to be a guest here this afternoon. What a beautiful stadium.
Jack Drake will handle the kickoff duties for DePauw. You'll see DePauw use 2 different kickers during the course of today's game, kind of both a long kicker, that's Drake, and a shorter distance kicker in Sullivan. And folks, it's a rivalry game. Anything is bound to happen. Expect trick play on top of trick play. The Monon Bell Classic is back, and for the first time, it's on the ISC Sports Network. And did we say that Drake was the long kicker for DePauw? You see why. He knocked that one some 80 yards down the field. The drive for Wabash, the opening drive, will start at the 25-yard line. Let's show you the Little Giants starting offense. Again, they are led by quarterback Liam Thompson. He is one of the top signal callers in all of Division III football. 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the season. He is just shy of 2,800 yards passing on the campaign. And his lone setback in Donovan Snyder is the leading rusher in the NCAC this season. He is 114 yards away from 1,000 on the year. Handoff goes to Snyder, and on the very first play, he'll take it for a gain of 6 out to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, Donovan has been a workhorse this year, and I'm telling you, he's one of these running backs. He'll get yards, you don't realize it. At the end of the day, you find out he had 125 yards, and you felt like he had about 70.
Joe Zonka, again, one of the many senior dominant players on this DePauw defense. Nose tackle makes the play. And a lot of times the nose guard, Brad, just kind of holds up play. Not Joe. He is a playmaker for DePauw.
Oh, absolutely. Expect to see him in there quite a bit this afternoon. This is a really good DePauw rush defense.
Another handoff goes to Snyder, and he'll be tripped up just shy of the 35-yard line. And you saw that our clock was held up on the screen. That's because the clock in the stadium did not start until a couple of plays in. Now it is rolling, and we're just shy of the 14-minute mark. here in quarter number 1.
Well, everybody's got nerves in this game, including our clock operator.
Not that any sort of home clock shenanigans would take place in the first minute
no.
of the game.
Not yet.
Thompson on the single wing carry, ducks inside the right tackle and picks up a first down. And we talk about the passing skills of Liam Thompson. He is also Wabash's second leading rusher on the season.
He's had a lot of success rushing. In fact, the coaches have had to work with him to get him to slide and to get out of bounds because he likes to get those extra yards. And so he's been phenomenal with his legs. Really just been a workhorse on offense with his arms and his feet.
Liam led North Central High School to their first football sectional championship in some 25 years. His senior year at North Central High School. Playing for Kevin O'Shea at North Central. Handoff. Another solid gain for Snyder. And are we seeing, Steve, a bit of ball control here by Wabash, trying to short this game a little bit and keep DePauw's offense off the field?
Well, look, any game plan you go into, one of the keys of the game about every game is we have to run the ball. And look, DePauw has 4 seniors back there in their defensive backfield, and Coach Morrell said they are really, really good. So trying to set up the run, try to get some more people up in the box so we can maybe open it up for Liam's arm a little bit.
So this is a DePauw defense that averages, they only allow 33 yards a game on the ground when you take out that season opening loss at Butler. So, hey, let's go right at him. I figure and Coach Morrell is trying to establish that run early.
And DePauw has won 8 consecutive games. Quarterback draw for Thompson. Thompson will bounce it outside, takes contact, should be enough for the first down, but I want to get both sides fired up because that was quite the popping of pads from the DePauw defense.
Your eyes definitely open wide when you're a defensive back and you see a quarterback coming out there, try to lay a big hit. You don't get those very often legally on a quarterback these days, so it's an opportunity to set the tone.
And look, Liam's into the game now. I mean, everyone talks about these big games. You get that first big hit, first pop, and you know, everything is gone. It's just another football game.
That is good enough for a first down as he got the 46-yard line. So the second first down of the drive for Wabash, and they have yet to get airborne in this game. In a game that dates back to the 1800s, an offense at least to start maybe a few decades in age for Wabash.
Expect these guys to be amped up. I mean, they've been waiting 2 years in some cases to play a Monon Bell game.
I think Mr. Schultz had done the math. 729 days in between Bell games. Again, it's the handoff. It is Snyder. His gain is minimal on that play.
And look, the nice thing here and what Coach Morrell is hoping to get done with the rush too is to keep that DePauw offense off the field. They are powerful. Our defense has been our weak spot this year. We as in Wabash. So just keep their offense off the field.
Ethan Lowry in on the tackle for DePauw, a young man from Heritage Christian High School in Indianapolis. Nearly 3 minutes, in fact, more than 3 minutes off the clock. That ball's a live football. That was a lateral, and that's going to be a DePauw turnover. And they have lived on turnovers this season. That is the 25th they have created. They are plus 17 this year in giveaway takeaway, and that was an incomplete pass, but it was a backwards pass, and the first miscue of the game is made by Wabash.
You mentioned it, Greg. You'll see it here. I mean, it's pretty clearly a backwards pass. And that's just one you got to catch. I mean, that play is designed to catch and run. That's one you've got to catch. And Greg, you mentioned it. This DePauw team, second in the nation in turnover differential. They have lived off of big plays on defense. They get another one here. You know, right before that play, I was about to say, if you're DePauw, you probably don't mind Wabash taking 2-3 yards at a time running the ball because you know you have a big play defense that can create turnovers in passing game.
Show you the starting lineup for this DePauw offense. Again, Chase Andrews is the veteran signal caller, young man from Beech Grove High School that will lead the charge for the Tigers. Gus Baumgartner is the leading running back for DePauw on the season. It's a DePauw group that suffered some injuries at tailback position in spring football. Andrews, pitch and catch. Great open field tackle is made for Wabash. That is Avery Epstein that made the tackle for Wabash. The pass catcher is Trey Shaw, one of the top receivers for the DePauw Tigers.
Yeah, they're excited about Avery Epstein as a freshman coming in and really playing all year.
That is a gain of 6 on the play for DePauw, and of those Wabash defensive starters, 7 of them are playing in a Bell game for the first time. It is a young Wabash defense. On the handoff, that's Baumgartner. Should be a first down. Will be knocked down out of bounds just past the 25-yard line, but DePauw moves the chains for the first time on this opening drive.
Yeah, that's a real nice play. That run there is designed to get the tight end to block down, and that's what Quigley, the tight end 13, did for DePauw. And it's one of those that, you're probably not going to hit a home run, but you're looking for 7-8 by sealing that edge, and that's exactly what DePauw did, and they pick up the first down.
Baumgartner, 686 yards rushing on the season. Baumgartner, sophomore from Garin Catholic High School. Again, it's the handoff to Baumgartner. Cuts inside, a little bit of room, but not much there. Tackle made by the Wabash College Little Giants. That is Joe Rios from his linebacker spot that makes the play.
And really, the Achilles hit for the Wabash defense has been the big play this year. So keeping it on the ground, making plays like that will be helpful.
Joe Rios had a little help that time as well in terms of the tackle. Will Olive from the defensive tackle position, sophomore at 6'2" and 247, makes the play. Both these teams like to play a three-man front defensively. It's not atypical in Division III football. That many big guys to play on defense. Again, it's Baumgartner. This time he bounces it outside, and Baumgartner in the neighborhood of the first down marker. In fact, I think it's going to be right on it. See where they mark it. It's going to be either third and short, and I think that's going to be the way that it ends up here.
Catch a little read option there, and Baumgartner able to make the first guy miss. That's the key. That's the unblocked guy, and the receiver is down the field doing their job, and that'll get you 8-9 yards a pop.
Jose Franco in on the tackle for the Little Giants. Already this game with 6 or 5.5 minutes off the clock. And a Wabash turnover giving DePauw a short field. On the counter, it's Baumgartner. First down and touchdown. The counter drew the defense in and into the DePauw end zone, if you will. Baumgartner scores. Tigers on the board first.
Oh, that's a great play call, even better execution. You got Andrews on the move. He can run, especially in short yardage situations. Baumgartner did a great job at just getting set. Don't flinch till the ball's in your gut. He's got it, and the hole was wide, and he ran right up through it for the touchdown.
Well, a dream start for the DePauw Tigers. They get the turnover, and they get the quick 6. Baumgartner finds the end zone for the 7th time this season.
Look, if you're going to run that zone read play, and you have a guy back there by Chase Andrews, then he runs it well. That's 2 runners you got to watch out for.
With that, we'll quickly step aside. 9:11 left to go in the opening quarter. Tigers on the board first, 7-0, as you're watching the Monon Bell Classic on the ISC Sports Network.
Respect, trust, acceptance. Earning means more than salary. The Wabash grads do earn some of the highest salaries around. With the nation's best alumni network and outstanding career services, we show you what's possible through immersion trips, internships, and networking events. With those experiences and more, our students are admitted to graduate or professional school or land jobs before graduation. Here, you command your own success. Come to Wabash. Earn more.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
And Drake, restarting quickly, knocks that one through the back of the end zone again. So the Little Giants will start their second drive in the same place that they started the first, that being at the 25-yard line.
Be real interesting to see what Don Morell and the Little Giants do here, given, you try to establish that run, one pass, and you have the turnover. But they were moving the ball. Now, though, you get that antsy feeling. You can't rush things, but all of a sudden you're down to a high-powered offense. Will they start to spread it out and let Thompson throw the ball?
You got that view from what would be I believe the end zone next to the field house here, that wonderful panoramic view of what this great stadium looks like now. A minimal gain on the carry for the Little Giants.
The other thing Wabash does, and they might be doing right now, is run a lot of RPOs, the run-pass options, and DePauw might just be playing in something that he just decides to give the ball instead of throwing it to nowhere.
Again, every play so far has been a rushing play. Even the one pass that Thompson threw, because it was a lateral, went down as a rushing play. Blitz coming. Thompson recognizes and does what he can to simply get rid of the football. Blitzing backer for DePauw, that is Luke Marsh, young man from Western Boone High School, that is their leading tackler on the season.
How good has this kid been? He didn't start day one. Brett Dietz and company realized this kid is so good, we've got to put him in the starting lineup. We'll move some other guys around, which they did, which made their defense better by moving some starters up to the defensive line. But a great job by Marsh to get pressure, and a good job by Thompson to have the recognition to get that ball off and across the line of scrimmage out of bounds.
And not often you have a freshman as a leading tackler on a defense at this level.
And we talk a lot about the seniors of this DePauw group, but Marsh, a young man that was part of 3 consecutive state championships at Webo. Now it's Wabash that runs the counter. That is Campbell, and gets some solid yardage, but will not be close to a first down. And we'll see the punt team come up here for the Little Giants.
Yeah, good job by the DePauw defense. It just feels like they're kind of sitting on that run, daring Thompson to throw the ball. And when they did, they brought the pressure on second down.
Steve, are you surprised to see Wabash run the ball so much early in this game?
Yeah, I am a little bit because we've really mixed it up this year, which has really kept teams off balance. I mean, we led the conference in both rushing and passing, which doesn't happen very often. But DePauw must be trying to give us a rush, but it's working for them on defense. Ane,
one of the best punters in Division III. This one will be knocked down at the 35-yard line. The man who was down to down it, senior tight end Jackson Claiborne for the Little Giants. So this DePauw drive will start at their own 35-yard line.
And what you don't want to do as the underdog is get down 2 or more scores. So this is a really important drive for both teams.
So far in this football game, we have technically had 2 passes attempted. Andrews 1 of 1 for 6 yards. And again, Thompson, even though it's a lateral, that is credited as a pass. So on the throw, Andrews. And now he will try to run, and he will at least avoid the sack. Ball came out. Are they going to say he was down? I believe so, yes. Headlines been coming in from the far sideline saying, nope, play was over, down by contact, crisis averted for DePauw. It's a gain of 3 yards.
Yeah, they were looking deep down the field, and that was well covered. Nice job by the Wabash secondary, and Andrews, we think, able to hang on to that football and see if he was down here.
And Andrews, young man that was a multiple sport athlete at Beech Grove High School, and I do think he was down.
Yeah.
The player that then ripped that ball away was Will Olive for the Little Giants. Flag is thrown, and this play is blown dead, and somebody got an early start. You're about to hear our official, Pete Hampton, for the first time today.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. Down remains second.
Let's recognize our officiating crew for this Monon Bell Classic. Pete Hampton, Scott Duncan, Trey Green, Jason Edler, Ryan George, Bart Buckler, and Randy Roseberry. Our 7-man officiating crew, and because this is a special day for them as well, to work a game with over 8,000 people in attendance. Faking the handoff, Andrews looking for the deep ball and has a man. Catch is made, that's major for a first down at the 41-yard line. And Brad, where did Josh go to high school?
I think that would be Columbus East, Greg. That's
same alma mater, soon to be both college and high school as one Brad Wakamerka, a young man that was a quarterback for legendary head coach Bob Gaddis at East.
Yeah, that's just a great job, a nice play by Major to just continue over to the sideline, make sure, he let the quarterback throw him open, find that open space in the field, and I think, that play really developed because of the nice runs that Baumgartner had on the first series. They're going to see these open down the field here in the rest of the quarter.
26-yard completion by Andrews in his third Bell game. Again, looking for the deep ball all alone down the sideline. That will not be a touchdown, but it will be first and goal as stepping out of bounds inside of the 5-yard line. Big catch is made that time by the former Carmel quarterback, now tight end at DePauw, Gabe Quigley.
Quigley's had a nice couple of series. I mentioned that block he had on the long Baumgartner run on the first series. Now just leaking out at the tight end. A great catch and run. And DePauw is in business again inside the 5.
This is a DePauw program that set a school passing record with 502 yards last week in their 66-13 victory over Oberlin. And they have the offense firing on all cylinders right now. Oren, the fullback. Baumgartner, the tailback. And Baumgartner reaches the end zone. Back-to-back touchdowns for DePauw, and the Tigers enjoying a 13-0 lead.
Well, if you thought DePauw might be looking ahead to the playoffs, which we've seen a lot in this rivalry when that situation it happens, they are not in this case. DePauw has come out firing, not just because of the turnover, but now the offense is really effective moving down the field there in a nice drive.
This DePauw team conference champions for the first time since joining the North Coast Athletic Conference in 2012. Last time they were a league champ, they were the winners of the SCAC in 2010. Kick is up. This one is good. Tigers lead 14-0. We'll quickly step aside. Back in 60 seconds as you're watching the Monon Bell Classic on ISC. So at the 25-yard line, again, Drake's kickoff goes well into the end zone. Again, a somewhat of a breeze behind him, not the gale that we saw in the high school football games we covered last night on the ISC Sports Network, but clearly leg strength not an issue for Drake, and everything going well for the DePauw Tigers. Now Thompson looking to throw, and Thompson short hops that one. Incomplete pass. And Liam has thrown 8 interceptions on the course of the season.
Yeah, and 4 of those came last week against a good Wittenberg team, and 4 interceptions, and Liam will just bounce back. So he's really had a good year, just 4 of those coming last week.
So 2nd down and 10. And it's been run dominant the first 2 series. Now Wabash going to try to air things out. Thompson will keep. And Thompson's got to be careful because he runs right back into the nose guard for DePauw in Joe Zonka. It is no gain on the play, but Wabash finds themselves behind the chains. It's 3rd down.
I got to be careful running backwards or side to side against this DePauw defense. Someone in white's going to be there waiting, and DePauw again has found an early way to contain Thompson in this passing game.
Especially when that player waiting is Joe Zonka.
Yeah.
Thompson has a man, but safety rotates over, and that is an interception for DePauw. They now have an interception in every game this year. Make it 12 consecutive games in total, and that is Dylan Hyatt, one of those senior starters in the defensive backfield. All 4 players are seniors that start at the DB position for DePauw. And once again, the Avalanche is rolling down the hill for the Tigers.
Yeah, this just read perfectly by Hyatt. Able to slide over, make that play. Just not a well-thrown ball either. Thompson probably needs to get that down the field a bit more, but it's tough. This DePauw secondary, senior-led, as you mentioned, Greg, they have just been an interception machine this year, and DePauw now with a chance to really blow this game open still in the first quarter.
Yeah, and to put that in perspective, I think that's DePauw's 19th interception on the year. Wabash has 8 on the year, and this Wabash defense only has forced 4 fumbles on the entire year. So when you get down to a good team like DePauw, you got to have turnovers and big plays, and this defense just hasn't shown it yet this year.
DePauw plus 18, 2nd in the nation in giveaway takeaway, only trailing Alma College of Michigan, who entered today with a plus 19 total. Andrews looking for the big play, and this one incomplete. Again, Quigley was the target. Shaw was in the pattern as well. 2nd down.
Yeah, he had Quigley. I mean, there was a spot there, just overshot him a little bit. So DePauw looking to go down the field, stay aggressive, and try to expand this lead.
And Wabash has been sitting in his cover 3. They've been trying to just scored or got close on that same wheel route last time by trying to sneak that cover deep corner in the cover 3rd into the middle as they wheel around behind him.
Andrews 3 of 4 for 68 yards to start this game. Both drives so far for the Tigers have resulted in touchdowns. It's Baumgartner. And Baumgartner bounces off of the pile, and while he won't have a first down, that looked like it might have been a 2-yard gain. Ended up being a pickup of 7 yards, 3rd and short.
Andrews now those 68 yards. He has moved into 10th place all time in passing yards in DePauw history, past Jason Lee, who helped me with many legal matters, and Rob Doyle, who has helped me on many broadcasts in the past. So 2 very good former DePauw quarterbacks.
Now, just to point out, Brad Walker-Merck is a very moral and upstanding legal citizen, just so everybody is aware of that.
It was a will. It was a will.
There you go. 3rd and short. In the lineup, Oren, who is also a tight end as an H-back here, Will DePauw. Rolling pocket, Andrews fires, should be enough for a first down. That is Shaw. Makes a couple of defenders miss and will step out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. Another big gain for the DePauw Tigers.
You can see why they like Shaw so much. Leading receiver for the Tigers on the season by a significant amount. Shifty, good hands, and both on display here with a nice catch, and then makes a man miss to get some more yards after the catch.
Shaw entered this game with 41 catches and 8 touchdowns, and he and the young man that just had the interception for DePauw and Dylan Hyatt, both graduates of Northview High School. Not too far from Greencastle.
That's what I mentioned at the top of the broadcast. A lot of former teammates, a lot of friends in this game in Monon Bell because of so much local talent.
On the counter again. Last time DePauw ran this play resulted in a touchdown, albeit being much closer to the end zone. This time, just the gain of a couple. LG makes the stop.
Yeah, and you know, this Wabash defense, like I said, I'd really like to get a turnover here. DePauw just methodically going down the field, really look to be in control when their offense is on the field. That's not surprising with Chase Andrews behind the center. I mean, that guy, you know, us Wabash fans will be glad when he graduates.
I know this. There's a young man named Nathan Cahill that served as his backup this year for DePauw that led Cathedral to a 5A state championship. They got a deep quarterback room in Greencastle for head coach Brett Dietz. Fake the handoff, and Andrews finds an escape hatch out the right side, and he could have a first down. Racing out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. But again, it will be a first down for the Tigers, and they are sitting on 130 yards of total offense through the first 12 minutes of this game.
That's one of the things Andrews can do well. Very patient, looking for the pass, and then has that escapability, able to get outside of the pocket and get a big first down with his legs.
And that is a very frustrating play for any defense. When you get good coverage, you're covering guys up, you get a decent rush, you force him out of the pocket, and then he gains a first down out of it.
Baumgartner finds a seam and he tripped up inside of the 15-yard line. Sets up second down and short. Baumgartner now 8 carries, 2 touchdowns, and north of 50 yards already for the game, and he'll get a breather as he heads to the sidelines.
Yeah, DePauw just picking up chunk yardage. I mean, even on simple runs like that, 5 yards on first down, it really just allows them to open up the playbook.
Drew Moore will come in to replace him. Moore the backup this year with 284 yards rushing.
In this formation, DePauw's been running a lot. I know Wabash coaches were a little concerned. We used to call it twins. You got 2 receivers at the top, tight end backside with 2 back, and there's just so much you can do out of it. You don't see it a lot anymore.
Andrews rolling that direction. Looking for the front corner of the end zone. Got it. Touchdown. That's Shaw.
It's just a great job by Andrews. You'll see on the replay, he kind of looked the defender off just at the last minute before he let the ball go, and it let Shaw drift back towards the sideline and be open for the catch.
So Shaw with the touchdown grab. That is his 9th of the season. Andrews, his 20th touchdown pass on the campaign. 3 drives, 3 scores for the Tigers. It is a familiar refrain. Extra point try for DePauw. This one is up and good. Again, Sullivan connects, and 21-0. DePauw has quickly built a 3-score lead.
DePauw has not been in this position very often over the last decade plus. They've been on the receiving side of scores like this very much so. This is a great start for DePauw. This looks like a team that's really ready and focused. You know, there's a reason they're the conference champions, and they're showing it here with just the versatility on offense, the shutdown defense, the turnovers they've created. Everything you read in the stat books about DePauw is what we've seen so far in this first quarter.
And Steve, if you're Don Morrell, how are you trying to hold the line right now if you're Wabash?
Well, we got to move the ball on offense first and at least take up some time that way, and we got to start scoring. You know, our defense is not playing well. As you can see, we're not a big turnover defense, which really hurts when you get behind. But on offense, we have not taken up any of the clock either. We have not moved the ball. We got a couple first downs early. It was looking good running the football, but just got to have some success on offense. Right now, we're not having success on either side of the ball.
DePauw has not won back-to-back Bell games dating back to 2007-2008. And again, in the decade of the 2010s, if you will, DePauw won just twice in 2016 and 2019. In 2016, the last time that the Tigers took the Bell back to Greencastle from Crawfordsville. And this kick once again will reach the end zone, and for a 4th time in as many tries, Wabash will start this drive at the 25-yard line.
I think if you're Wabash here, you know, you had success running the ball a little bit on that first drive before the turnover. You know, you can't get into panic mode and start trying to pick up everything on 30, 40 yards down the field. Liam Thompson is such a good quarterback. You got to let him, you know, use that arm, use those legs, see if you can pick up a first down or 2 and get a drive going.
But, you know, there really hasn't been anything open. We haven't seen anything open. He's been getting pressure, slight chance of running the ball, but
Thompson, quick hitter. And again, that will be a negative yardage play. Catches made by Derek Allen. 39 catches on the season for Allen, but that'll be a loss of a couple.
And if you do want a big play guy, it will be Derek Allen in red today out there. He does have some wheels, so you know, trying to get him the ball, trying to get him some big play out of it.
Sophomore from Warren Central High School. averaging over 18 yards a catch. 2nd and long. Hand off that Snyder. And again, that's been a play that has had some success for Wabash, and it is still so early in the game, Steve. You can stick with this if you're the Little Giants.
Yeah, like Brad said it earlier perfectly. It's don't get in panic mode and try to make something happen that's not there. So if we can run the ball and get some first downs that way, then so be it. I mean, we still have 1 minute to go in the first quarter. So just see if this offense can get on track. Look, this offense has put up a ton of yards this year. 670 yards in one game with a loss. I mean, that's what our defense has been doing to hurt us.
So 3rd and long, and Thompson is trying to buy some time and now trying to win a foot race, and he will not do it. Tracked down by Brevin Good for DePauw. There is a flag, however, on the play.
Looks like that's against DePauw, I believe, early indication. I think the flag came down near where the tackle was, but before the tackle was made.
Offside, defense, number 7. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Down remains 3rd.
That is Evans Cribbs, senior cornerback for DePauw. So a bit of a free play that time for Wabash. And they have been behind the chains in the last 3 drives. Here is a chance for a 3rd and short where you can open up the playbook a little bit.
And right now, what I've noticed in DePauw's defense is they are fast. They're quick. I mean, they're all over the place. Like, that looked like he was going to get a first down easily on that, and he got ran down by Good.
Quarterback keep. It's Thompson, who will bounce it outside, has a first down and more. Thompson reaches the 50, delivers a stiff arm that they'll talk about for generations in the Thompson family as he crosses the 45-yard line and down to the 42.
If you're going to do a stiff arm, this is the game to do it. That's a great run. It looked like one of the DePauw defenders. It's a small 5-yard penalty like that just gives Wabash a little bit of momentum that they needed, and now start moving and getting something going.
The penalty and then the stiff arm right in front of the Wabash bench and in front of the fans, try to get things going as well.
Leon Thompson has spent time at the Manning Passing Academy, but he had some Derrick Henry Stiff Arm Academy on that play as well, and Wabash is going to choose to end the quarter on that play. Through 15 minutes of the Monon Bell Classic, on our way to break, it is DePauw 21, Wabash nothing. Little Giants have crossed the 50. We're back after this as you're watching on ISC.
At the buzzer. She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Hello! Did it again. Hello! Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello!
There we go. Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow. This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
I want to take this opportunity to thank our wonderful ISC Sports Network crew. Dennis Glover, Eldon Wheeler, Brian Pierce, Daryl Tibbs, Elijah Mash, Greg Mash, Wes Wolf, alongside Brad Walker-Merca and Steve Hoffman. Greg Rakestraw with you on the ISC Sports Network. Thanks to all the variety of places that you are watching this game today. Thompson slings this one out in the flat. Catch is made. Minimal gain. More than that, say 3 or 4 yards that time on the catch for Wabash. Nick Hammond, first catch of the day, his 29th of the season.
And Nick Hammond out of Indianapolis area, Carmel High School. We know they turn out good football players.
It's amazing. That is the first positive yardage passing play for Wabash in the game here in the second quarter, which you just didn't think coming in. But hey, it's little things. It's like seeing the ball go through the hoop. That might help. That could be a catalyst here for this drive.
2nd down and 6. And Thompson has plenty of time. Flag is thrown, and now we'll just really kind of more or less throw that ball away. But let's see what this flag is. It's out in the flat, and it was thrown during the course of the play.
I would guess defensive holding. I didn't see it.
159 total yards of offense in the first quarter for DePauw on 16 plays. I do not have a Wabash or DePauw education. I can do the math. That's 10 yards a snap that DePauw has been picking up so far in this game. and this foul will go against the Little Giants.
Looks like it was probably a legal formation. My guess is we had a player who was supposed to be on the line who was not on the line.
It's usually the case on those.
So it's either 3rd and 6 or 2nd and 11. Brad, which one do you want here if you're DePauw? And clearly the coaching staff says, we'll wave this one off.
The illegal formation on the offense, 5 men in the backfield. That penalty is declined. Result of the play brings 3rd down.
Yeah, this is a tough. I think I would have actually maybe taken the penalty with my defense ability to get after the quarterback. I mean, I feel a lot more comfortable. Maybe Wabash backing up for sure, out of field goal range. Because I think Wabash right now where they sit might be in 4-down territory. You back them up and get a stop on 2nd and 11, maybe not. So I think I probably would have taken the penalty.
So 3rd down. Line to gain is just past the 33-yard line. Wabash empties the backfield out, looking for the deep ball, looking for Hammond, and there will be a flag in terms of the coverage there. A defensive back, and Liam Pooler was the player closest to it, but I think Wabash is going to pick up a 1st down via a penalty here.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one, and just things like that are going to keep Wabash's offense on the field and keep them moving along. Liam, that's not where he wanted to go.
Defense number 22, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
But clearly that was a pump and go. You saw kind of the shoulder dip trying to get the defensive back to bite. He did. And Steve, the penalty results in Wabash's 4th 1st down of the game.
Yeah, it does. A couple of those being helped by DePauw penalties. But this offense is not used to being able to have some success and move the ball. And again, I'll say it again, I see a lot of speed out there on the defenders in white running the ball down. A lot of plays look like they're going to be open, and they shut down pretty quickly.
Snyder in the backfield for the Little Giants. And the ball goes his way. Solid gain for Snyder. Again, as we mentioned earlier, leading rusher in the North Coast Athletic Conference with 886 yards on the season. Picks up 5 more and again entered this game 114 yards away from being the 16th back in Wabash history to have 1,000 yards on the season.
He had a game this year against Worcester. He had 220 yards in the game, and we get a loss out of it, and nobody talks about that because we get the loss out of it. So 220 yards don't come along very often in a game.
That was the game where you mentioned earlier, 670 yards of offense. Here's an opportunity. Catch made. Claiborne diving for the end zone. He's just down inside the 1, but it is 1st and goal for the Little Giants.
Exactly what Wabash needs is, now you got to punch this in. It's not over yet, but exactly what Wabash needs is to get a shot in the arm here and at least stay within striking distance of this good team.
So 1st and goal coming up for Wabash inside of the 1-yard line. Thompson will keep. Thompson scores. Wabash in the end zone, still got work to do. It's a little bit brighter here in Crawfordsville right now. 21-6, extra point pending.
Yeah, Liam just taking that. Liam has a lot of touchdowns on the year, leading the conference,
Offside,
I believe.
Defense number 7. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
I believe ended the year leading the conference in rushing touchdowns from the quarterback position, but the play that got it down there, was a big one. And again, if Liam starts having success with his arm a little bit, give him some confidence, give our defense some confidence. But that drive was huge. We talked about it earlier. You can't get down too much with this good team.
This end zone's seen a lot of extra points. It's the 4th one so far. First one for Wabash, 21-7 the score. We're back after this on ISC. We have yet to see anything of the trick play variety in this rivalry game. Potentially, is there an onside kick or something along those lines in the offing here?
I don't put anything past Coach Morrell. He's kind of a trick play guy and trying to find out what can happen. So I wouldn't be surprised.
It is a short kick, not on this one. And this one, DePauw will return, and then flags are thrown. Might have been some late contact there. As of now, the Tigers have the ball at the 31-yard line, but that could change. It was Daniel Roach, the former young man that played at Central Catholic High School, that returned it.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team number 19. 15 yards added to the end of the run. 1st down.
Not want to be Don Morrell right now or next to Don Morrell. I mean, that's the last thing you want to have happen here. You give DePauw field position. Hey, look, emotions, rivalry game, I get it. But it's not like you tackled them down inside the 5-yard line. I mean, they're out at the 31 already, and now you do this, and suddenly DePauw is almost at midfield just after the momentum had switched. That could be a big penalty.
Already the first touchdown for DePauw took place on a shortened field after the first of what were 2 opening quarter turnovers by the Wabash offense. As we mentioned, 159 yards and 3 scores so far in this game on 3 drives for DePauw. Andrees, catch made, Shaw, then he bobbled it. Is it a live ball and a fumble? No. Back judge immediately waves his arms and says incomplete pass. Pass broken up that time by Jose Franco for Wabash.
Yeah, good pass by the senior 4-year starter or 3-year starter with missing a year, but started every year he was here, Jose Franco. It was a good call. He never got it, didn't make any kind of football move on the incomplete pass.
So second down. Andrees again looking for the deep ball, again looking for Shaw, and overthrows his man. There was some contact there, but not enough to draw a flag, and DePauw finds themselves behind the chains, really almost for the first time today at 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, it's 2 really good plays by Franco, though, in coverage. That time just draped all over Shaw, really not open at all after knocking the ball out on the last one. And, yeah, DePauw hasn't seen 3rd and long in a bit, but, Andrews is a guy that can make things happen. We saw it with his legs, picked up a long 3rd down on the last series.
Yeah, 3rd and long is a little different with Chase Andrews behind center.
Franco, 43 tackles, 7 passes broken up on the year. Wabash rushes 3. Catch made. Steve, you were saying first down Tigers inside of the 35-yard line.
That's just a nice catch right there. A little bit behind the receiver, but able to pull it down. The freshman with a huge play now to get into Wabash territory. That's a big 3rd down pickup when we sense the momentum shifting a little bit towards the Wabash sideline.
Yeah, when the defense is just trying to get off the field, you got a 3rd and 10. I thought Joe Rios actually had caught it, and looked like it went right through his hands or just over him.
Trent Veith, young man that won a state championship at Center Grove a year ago, and when you catch a lot of passes at Center Grove, you know that's something, because the offense that they run.
That's fair.
15th catch of the season for the young man that wears number 15. Fake the hand up on the draw. Andrees lives to fight another day. Throws that ball away. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, good play by Andrews, not forcing anything. First down, just get outside, get the ball out of bounds. Got a little contact afterwards, shoved to the ground, perfectly fine. And so I think Wabash trying to send a message there, which is important. You want to make sure you get Andrews on the ground anytime you can.
Yeah, and at least as Wabash fans, you're watching this, at least our defense is getting in some reasonable positions here. I mean, those first 3 drives, guys, we were watching, just made it look easy. At least we're getting them in 2nd and 3rd and long.
So 2nd down and 10. Hand off to Baumgartner. Has a little bit of room and trucks forward for a gain of 4. Sean Sinovic, freshman from Roncalli High School, in on the tackle.
Baumgartner's been showing a little bit of power here in the first half. I mean, he picks up an extra 1.5 yards, almost 2. Right up, look at that, boom, right at 2 more yards after contact. That's big as you come up to 3rd down right here. 3rd and 6, a lot better than 3rd and 8.
And again, DePauw has a couple of different kickers they can use, but you would think this is maybe 2 downs to pick up 6 yards.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. In kind of a no man's land here, especially kicking into the teeth of this breeze.
So 3rd down and 6. Fake the hand up on the draw in the flat. Catch is made. That's Quigley. Spins away from one tackler, and 2nd effort. No, it won't, because they're going to say, let's see. We're literally right on the line marker. They're giving it to him 1st down.
Yeah, he did a great job of spinning out of that first tackle, and I think we'll see he extended the ball. Can't tell if he was out of bounds, but the official's right there. That's a nice job to get the 1st down.
The way I saw one of the officials kind of stop, I thought he was going to mark him as being out of bounds. He did not. Needed 6 and got 7.
Yeah, you're right, Brad. Extending that ball got it to him. But he made about 3 or 4 people miss on that, and it didn't take much. That was a big deal. You got 4th and short, and now another 1st down to this good offense.
By the way, on all officials' calls, we'll defer to Steve Hoffman, who was the referee for the Lutheran Park Heritage game last night, just down the road in Rockville. Handoff goes to Baumgartner, and Baumgartner, every carry in the middle of the field is with both hands around the football. His 10th carry of the game, picks up 5 more yards.
That's a great call, Rake. It's really like he's running almost the 4th quarter with a lead. But, hey, turnovers are so important in this Monon Bell game. He's not giving up that football, and he's doing it while he's picking up 5-6 yards a pop.
Yeah, already 60 yards with still 10 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter for Baumgartner.
Played at Garin Catholic High School for head coach Tom Dilley. Garin Catholic, in their brief history, has had a lot of young men play in this football game, attending Wabash or DePauw. Again, it's Baumgartner. And Baumgartner a yard at best. The walls collapsed on him. And Sinovic amongst those that were there to make the play. Myers We have, unfortunately, I believe, an injured lineman that is down for DePauw and is going to require some attention.
Timeout for an injured offensive player.
And that is Tommy Martin, a freshman along the offensive line for DePauw, who unfortunately requires the assistance of the trainers. He is a freshman from Geneva, Illinois.
Yeah, so you're 3rd and 4 right here for DePauw. We'll see what happens on this play. If they get a couple of yards, maybe you do bring in the field goal unit. But the way the offense has moved the ball, still think kicking into that win, this could be 4-down territory, provided you don't lose any yards on the 3rd down play.
Yeah, if I'm coaching that offense, I think I'd rather go for it than try to kicker out there, just with the success they've had.
I want to thank all of you joining us, the variety of ways in which you can watch the broadcast today. Whether that is on broadcast TV for the first time in many years in Indianapolis on My Indy TV 23, statewide across Indiana on Comcast Xfinity, cable channel 81, whether it's on ISC television, ISC's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter accounts, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Roku. There are some...
Is that it?
Well, rather, I'm training the carrier pigeons as we speak, but there's also some very ingenious graduates of both of these schools. They may have engineered something completely that I don't know about in which you are watching the broadcast today. Whether you're watching us from Indiana, anywhere else in the States, or worldwide, thank you for joining us for this Monon Bell Classic. Third down. Andrews. Intercepted. Now there's a flag behind the play, but there's an interception, and if this is a hold against DePauw, Wabash has gotten their first stand of the game.
Yeah, I think it's a hold. I think one of our guys coming off the edge to try to put pressure and get tackled.
Holding. Offense number 34. That penalty is declined. First down.
Quarter number 1 belonged to DePauw. Quarter number 2 has belonged to the Little Giants, and the emotion that you see on the field right now is matched by what you're seeing in the stands from the Wabash fans.
Yeah, it really has transferred over, and that's why football is such a beautiful game. We all just are such big fans, right, because of the momentum shifts that can happen. And it can start with anything. I mean, you could go back and say a little bit started with Liam Thompson's stiff arm, kind of get everybody into the game a little bit. But only the 9th interception by this Wabash defense, and quite timely here.
I tell you what, though, that's one Andrews want to have back. That's just not a good play. No one was open. Andrews threw that ball into coverage, not like Chase Andrews that we've seen this year.
His 6th interception of the season. Handoff goes to Snyder, and Snyder has some positive yardage and keeps that momentum going, picks up 7 yards.
And what you'll notice about both Baumgartner and Snyder, they don't go backwards after first contact. Like he had a way there of getting 2 extra yards by twisting and turning his body and just keeping his legs going.
Snyder with 8 carries for 35 yards for the former Mishawaka caveman from his high school days. Would have played for Bart Curtis and Keith Kinder, a couple of great head coaches in his days at Mishawaka. Thompson will keep. Thompson got what he could. He will get a yard, and it sets up 3rd down and 2.
This is a big play right here in your own territory because there's no 4th down territory here. You're going to be punting it away.
Yeah, DePauw throwing the interception deep in Wabash territory could really be pivotal for field position here. So this is a huge play to try to at least extend the field a little bit for Wabash.
Not many folks in this building are sitting right now. Maybe that's just to stay warm, but there's energy on both sides of it right now. 3rd down and 2. Thompson. I think that was kind of the run-pass option of a different variety, and he is going to be, I believe...
I think he gave it to him on the side.
I thought he was going to be short, but kind of where they're spotting it. I'd imagine the chain gang might get their first
I think you're right.
workout of the day, and frankly, we rarely see the chain gang anymore.
Out for measurement.
No, because officials start first downs on yard lines, and so they know which yard line they need to get to. And look, we got different fields now. Everyone's playing on the synthetic fields, and so it's pretty easy. If you know they have to get to the 17, which is the case here, and you spot it at the 17, no reason to bring the chains all the way over. So it's kind of interesting, actually.
While we have the opportunity, let us thank our great folks behind the scenes that make this broadcast possible, as is a first down for Liam Thompson, a 2-yard pickup. Thank the wonderful sports information directors of Wabash and DePauw, Brent Harris and Bill Wagner, who make our jobs easy. The guys behind the scenes at Wabash College, that would be Jim Amadon, and a guy that I feel is with me in spirit, even though he is not broadcasting with me today, my broadcast partner with the Indy 11, and he does have some sort of official job title at DePauw University, that being Brad Otter.
I did notice the shirt when I walked in today.
That's not a good thing when Steve points out as the Wabash guy. Hand off to Snyder. Picks up another 3 yards here, and again, you love the heart, the hustle of this game, but the whistle had blown. It's second down.
Yeah, just a big play. We go back to that last one by Thompson to get that first down by inches. Looked like it was a bit of a blown play. You mentioned it, Ray. I don't know if he's looking for a read pass up the middle or maybe even a shovel pass. He kind of was holding the ball and was able to pick that first down up. That was huge and could be a really big play here in the first half.
And every first down, you are keeping that potent DePauw offense off of the field. Not exactly draining the play clock of 40 seconds every time, but Wabash isn't running hurry up either, let's put it that way. And it's Snyder as he charges forward for a gain of 5. It's 3rd down and 2.
And the one thing we really haven't seen yet is the Wabash passing attack. The best offense for Wabash has been kind of running the ball 3-4 yards a pop, and the penalties from DePauw when trying to throw the ball down the field. So you just wonder if it's a matter of time before we see a big play through the air.
Yeah, the Wabash passing attack has a total, folks, of 20 yards in the middle of the second quarter here. And a lot of that's credit to that senior defensive backfield we've talked about.
Handoff on the jet sweep. That will be a first down on the hurdle. And perhaps one of the great names in the history of this rivalry. Heisman Skeens with the carry. A gain of 5 on the play.
You've been waiting a quarter and a half.
I've been waiting since he was in high school at Mississinawa to get that name in a broadcast.
That's a great name. And there have been some good ones in this rivalry.
So 5-yard pickup for Skeens. Skeens, a junior. Already 2 first downs the drive, and given where Wabash was pinned in, that's a good goal. Thompson just trying to make something happen, and again, gets what he can, picks up a yard or 2.
And again, it just shows you how good the defensive backfield for DePauw is. I mean, there's just nowhere to go when you get outside because those defensive backs, all seniors, all that experience, and really come up quickly.
Clock rolls past the 7-minute mark, left to go here in the second quarter of play. First 3 drives of DePauw's ended in the end zone. Wabash then answered with a touchdown, had an interception in the red zone. They hope they begin a long drive to the other end of the field. Here's the counter. Here's Campbell, and Campbell, his blockers up front do the job, give him 2 or 3, but now sets up 3rd down and 5 for the Little Giants.
You know, if you're Coach Morrell here, at what point on this field in a 21-7 game against a powerful offense do you consider it's 4-down territory? You know, I mean, and how too early is it to do it? I know it's only 3rd down now, but just thinking ahead.
And you have that punter that's such a great weapon too, so at least you've got that as a factor. Now that you've got some breathing room with a couple of first downs in this drive.
Yeah.
Plenty of time on the play clock here for Thompson. Hammond, the man that motions across the formation. Thompson looks, fires, and if his receiver didn't get a hand on it, that would have been turnover number 3 of the day. The man with hands on head is Liam Pooler for DePauw. Thought he had a pick. The wide receiver for Wabash and Derek Allen ended up turning almost into a defensive back on this play.
Yeah, just another. I don't know if maybe Thompson thought that Allen was going to keep going, and it looked like Allen just kind of settled down right there about a half step too soon, and Thompson was trying to lead him into the pass.
And fortunately for Wabash, that wasn't thrown right into the breadbasket of a safety. That happens often when the receiver stops his route.
So Ane, his second punt of the game. With the wind behind him, it takes off, hustling over to get it is Major, the return man for DePauw. And if he, just by making that catch, probably saved about 10 to 15 yards in bounce on that play.
Yeah, absolutely. You always get nervous when you see these return guys on the run sideways trying to make a catch. We've seen many of those in this rivalry, bobbled and fumbled before. But you're right, Greg. Josh able to catch that ball and save probably several yards from that thing bouncing inside the 10-yard line.
Well, we have seen Wabash turn their offense into ground and pound a little bit just because of trying to keep DePauw's offense off the field. Is the entire playbook open here for Coach Dietz's team, or what do you want to see from them on this drive offensively?
Yeah, I think it absolutely is, Greg, because we've seen everything work so far for the most part for DePauw. Just Chase Andrews uncharacteristically off target on a few passes on that last drive.
Andrews 7 of 12, 120 yards. Again feeling pressure, and He's sacked. That'll be a loss on the play. Loss of just a couple. The young man celebrating on your screen is David Marsh, senior defensive end for the Little Giants.
And you know, Tommy Martin went out with that injury, the freshman lineman on the last series for DePauw. You wonder a little bit if now you got a backup in there, if that's part of the issue here. And Wabash has started to get a little more pressure now in the last 2 drives on Andrews.
Yeah, the last 2 drives have been a little different, and even when DePauw was going down the field, they were getting a 3rd and long on that one and 3rd and medium on another one. So at least feels like the defense is stepping up a little bit right here.
Marsh, the former Bishop Chatard Trojan that makes the play. Young man that began his college days as a student at Miami of Ohio. Handoff, Baumgartner makes a man miss. Doesn't have a first down, but makes it a much more manageable 3rd down, and then another late penalty has been thrown well behind the play. So as of now, 3rd and 4, but expect that to change.
After the play, personal foul, offense number 75. 15-yard penalty, down will be 3rd.
And so with that, 3rd and 4, it's became 3rd and 19.
Yeah, that's you might see DePauw go back to the same play right here just to get some yards and have to kick the ball. I mean, I was about to say it's a great call on 2nd and long. You pick up some good yards, put yourself in 3rd and manageable, and suddenly, you know, Steve, DePauw's falling apart here with penalties a little bit, really shooting themselves in the foot.
That one's a killer for the offense. You know, exactly. You got 3rd and manageable after that good pickup.
4 penalties for 40 yards against the Tigers. Just 1 for 15 so far against the Little Giants. And both teams allowed to sub players in, hence the momentary delay. Play clock is at 11. Line to gain is the 33 here. Little Giants rush 3, now bring a 4. Andrews out in the flat. A lot of real estate to cover on that play to get close to a first down, and they will not. Casey Crozier, one of the top tacklers this year for the Little Giants, makes the play.
Yeah, he's kind of had a year, and it's funny. It feels like all of our defenders, when they make plays, have had a year because like you said earlier, Greg, 7 of these guys have not seen the field in college football before. So as Wabash fans, we came into the year, we didn't know any of these names after missing last year and not having spring ball like several schools did. First time we've seen DePauw's punt team today.
Crozier, young man from Lewis Cass High School, Galveston, Indiana, his hometown. DePauw taking their time to get that punt away. Good looking kick by Danny Wilkinson. Fair catch is signaled for and made by Wabash. That's Cooper Sullivan, sophomore wide receiver.
That's a really, really big stop for Wabash because DePauw's going to get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. So the last thing Wabash wanted to see was DePauw move the ball down the field, get some points on the board, and get the ball back. Now Wabash, you know, I'd expect to see them go back a little bit to some of those runs, maybe see if they can pick up a first down, chew a little bit of clock. It's not a major issue right now, and see if they can put points on the board before the end of the half.
Yeah, with 3:40 left before the half, hopefully DePauw's offense won't get back onto the field. And so you want to take up some time here, but you got to move the ball. You got to move the chains.
Thompson got that close enough to Snyder for that not to be intentional grounding. Good team pursuit that time by the Tigers.
And how many times have we seen Liam Thompson, pocket back there, looking around, just can't find anybody open?
Yeah, and Steve has not been able to run either. I mean, he's tried. He had the one nice run with the stiff arm, but DePauw's defense with that speed has really been able to kind of stretch him out. And Thompson, I think, is now considering that when he's running around, knowing that he can't get down the field.
Thompson, one of the leading passers in the country. Coming into this game, he's 3 for 9 for 20 yards. Allen on the quick hitter, able to make one defender miss, a second defender miss, and finally wrapped up by defender number 3. Josh Coons makes the play at the cornerback position, limits the damage to 5. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, it's the only problem with those quick screens. Sometimes you got to run around a lot of guys to get up the field, and it's some really nice moves by Allen, but unfortunately still only picked up, 4 yards, 5 yards, given the nature of the play.
Coons, another Bishop Chatard Trojan playing in this game.
It's a nice move, though. Wow.
Thompson looking, Finds a man looking for Allen and wrestles that one away. That's a catch for the Little Giants at the 25-yard line.
Boy, the last two plays, how about Derek Allen coming to play? And first on making people miss to get it to a manageable 3rd and 5. That play, when that ball's in the air, I'm thinking, where are you throwing the ball?
I thought the same thing, Steve. I thought this was going to end up in a white jersey. Very close. Look at that. Wow. I mean, he just might have taken away right through his hands.
Yeah.
Liam Pooler was the defensive back back there, and he had an interception. Allen had other ideas. Allen averaging 18 yards a catch. This one looking for the back of the end zone and could not hang on to it. Bobbled. Like we mentioned, Pooler's name for a second play in a row. Did just enough to break up the timing and prevent the touchdown grab for Wabash.
Yeah, Heisman seemed to think he caught that ball. We'll see. I'm not sure what the official from there saw to get him to call it with Heisman in the way, but he's right there.
Got another more of a unabated look here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he must have seen. That's a good call.
It did. Yeah, it hit the guy. Good job by that official, because at that angle,
I know.
Could easily see him being blocked by Skeens and call that a touchdown.
Second down. Campbell on the handoff. Campbell finds a seam, and he will be eventually slung down out of bounds, and that is a heady play that was made that time by Cooper Sullivan for Wabash, because if he makes contact with that defensive back, that is a block in the back. He quickly laid off and allowed at least the 5-yard gain to stand.
You know, it's interesting you point that out, because you've seen the plays like that have changed to protect players.
Yep.
You see it all the time now, guys holding up when they would have gone up high and taken somebody out of a play.
Dylan Hyatt, the interception earlier, made the tackle. Third down. Quarterback draw. Thompson dives into down for the first down. Beat it across the 15, and he did exactly that. First down for the Little Giants.
Like that play a lot. We haven't seen Thompson just get the ball and quickly get up the field. He does that here, pulls it down immediately, and maybe that'll set up some more options on offense for Wabash.
Tackle made by Luke Marsh for DePauw. Quickly, we're down to 1:45 left to go before halftime. 21 first quarter points for DePauw. Wabash looking to make it 14 here in quarter number 2. Thompson having all day, finds a man. Will be in the vicinity of the first down marker. That is Claiborne, whose last catch took it down inside the 1-yard line.
Yeah, and that's what Liam can do when he gets on a roll. He sits back there, keeps his feet moving, and then zips it in. He got quite the strong arm.
How about this drive for the Little Giants? Started inside of their own 15-yard line on the interception by Ferguson. And they have been able to tick off the majority of time in this quarter off of the board. Again, it's Campbell. Follows his blockers, dives forward, inside of the 1, and a timeout is going to be called. Nope, no timeout, just moving the chains. First down, my apologies. Now Don Morrell wants a timeout, and we'll get it. Let's quickly step aside. 53 seconds left to play in the half. 21-7 Tigers lead on ISC.
Timeout, Wabash.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
Back at Navarro Field at Little Giant Stadium. Greg Rakestraw, Brad Walker-Merca, Steve Hoffman with you on the ISC Sports Network. First and goal for Wabash. Thompson will keep, dives, he did not get in. Again, Wabash still has 2 timeouts. If they want it, Don Morrell will immediately signal for one here. And again, you've got several snaps left to go.
Timeout, Wabash, second charge, timeout.
You see the Little Giants quickly coming over to the sideline here. Because of kind of the rapid pace of this game, we have not had a chance to talk extensively about these two head coaches. So with Wabash driving, Steve, I will start with you. For the neutral fan that might be watching this game, there are a handful of them. It's all about Don Morell.
Yeah, Coach Morell has been around coaching quite a while, spent several years out at Laverne out in the Los Angeles area. Came to Wabash as an assistant coach, actually moved back to the area with his wife for other reasons. And, you know, here he is, ends up being our head coach. And this guy is a class act, and he just runs a good program. He's worried about building young men.
And now let's go to the DePauw sidelines. Brett Dietz played in the Arena Football League, Hanover College alumnus, and he has been off to a whale of a start here at Greencastle.
Yeah, he's a great quarterback at Hanover, really good offensive mind, and then phenomenal offensive coordinator under Bill Lynch here for many years, just biding his time, and I think a lot of folks are happy he's got the job.
Little trick play here on the jet sweep, touchdown for Wabash. It's Skeen, second time they have run the play on the drive, and what a drive it was. It took nearly the entire length of Frank Navarro Field, and Wabash is in the end zone for a second time today.
Yeah, and you use the term trick play there, and you know some folks call Coach Morell the gambler because he will do some interesting things. There was a play here, the last Bell game that was here in 2018, had a little sneak out. I don't know if you remember, Brad, where he threw it back to win the game, and so that's the kind of things he does. So he likes to pull out some things from his pockets.
Jacob Hanley on for the extra point. Snap had to be pulled down. They got it down in time, and we were worried about this game getting ugly early with DePauw leading 21-0. Now you look up, Little Giants are back within a touchdown.
This is a tough game sometimes to really get punched and come back from because you get hyped for it all week, all season, all year, and to see Wabash come back, hey, Wabash always fights, right? I mean, this is great. I mean, to see them come back in this game and cut the lead just to 7, really nice job. I think from DePauw's standpoint, you got to think about some of the penalties that are killer. Just a bad interception you're not used to seeing from Chase Andrews. Thompson probably got away with one that could have been picked on the last drive, but that's what it takes in these games to go back and forth.
I'm just trying to get over here, and you say Wabash always fights without stuttering. You just got it right out. That was impressive.
Well, DePauw never quits, though, so, it's still a half to go.
I'm amazed that Brad hasn't dropped the Tiger Pride on the broadcast just yet.
Not yet.
And with that, while we're all smiles up here in the broadcast, we need to mark this moment in history. This is the first Bell game we have had without legendary DePauw head coach Nick Morozes being around to coach in it or enjoy in a long, long time.
Yeah, first since 1981, his first year coaching DePauw. We lost Coach Nick last year and had some lovely ceremonies over the course of the summer. A lot of players and ex-coaches and friends and family gathered at DePauw to celebrate his life. Just a remarkable man. I had the pleasure to play for him for a couple of years, and this is a guy, his voice is infectious, his attitude, his enthusiasm. A lot of people coaching and involved in the game right now do a lot of things the way they do because they got to learn from Coach Nick Morozes. Just a phenomenal guy. His wife, Marilyn, the whole family is really ingrained in the fabric of DePauw and the DePauw football program. And, he's gone, not forgotten. His memory will always be a part of this program and what this team does on the field.
Fair catch called for by DePauw. So, again, this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Steve, what does it mean for the Little Giants if they can keep this to a 7-point game going to halftime?
I would not have put money that it would be 21-14 going into halftime. One is our offense wasn't doing anything just for us to score 14, but more so for DePauw not to have scored in the second quarter. The way this game started off and DePauw's offense was just clicking and clicking, and our defense wasn't getting any stops. It's kind of started with that interception that you pointed out earlier, Brad.
So Andries will take the snap. Wabash brings 3. Crossing pattern with plenty of room to spare. That is Shaw. And his receiver does a great job of getting in the way but not making an illegal block. That's a 14-yard pickup and a first down.
Yeah, coaches call that the airplane block, when you put your arms out and kind of, they teach that.
And is Jalen Smith, who is more than a big play player. He averages 26 yards a catch. That leads Division III and does a great job of not doing a thing on that play for DePauw.
There's a lot of receivers that have made a career out of not doing a thing when they're not catching the ball.
And this throw over the middle, catch is made. That's major. That will stop the clock on the first down. That is a pickup of 16 yards. And again, DePauw does have a player they like. And here comes a DePauw timeout. Again, our referee and Pete Hampton tells you that's their first. They've got 2 more. And again, really, Brad, for the Tigers, field goal range is only about 10, 15 yards away, even into this breeze.
Yeah, it absolutely is because of the leg of Jack Drake. I mean, he has an opportunity. He's kicked some long ones this year. Not many, but he has tried the long ones for DePauw. So this is exactly what we wanted to see. If you're Coach Dietz and the Tigers. I think a good use of the timeout here. You can sometimes in these situations you can really start to get rushed, start to feel that pressure, and make a bad play, a bad decision. I like the use of the first timeout. They've still got 2 here. They still have the option for the middle of the field. Obviously, they can look to throw it to the boundary as well. So a lot of options for DePauw here. Another 10, 15 yards or so. Yeah, things get interesting, Greg.
Yeah, a lot of momentum on the Wabash side right now, but DePauw goes down and gets any points, even if it's a field goal. Definitely, you give up a touchdown, and the momentum's going to switch going into the locker rooms.
So ball spotted at the 45-yard line. Blitz for Wabash. DePauw picks it up. Andrews can't find an open receiver. It's Baumgartner who sprints for the sidelines and will make it. He'll pick up 5 yards, takes about 7 seconds off the clock.
It's a good job to get out of bounds. In my head, I'm thinking to Andrews, hey, just throw that one away, because it looked like Baumgartner might have gotten tackled in bounds. So a good job by the running back to just get out of bounds.
So where would you, knowing DePauw's kicker, where do you put that green line that they put on the broadcast on the field goal mark?
Maybe the 28, potentially.
Give him a 45-yarder.
Yeah.
Here comes pressure. Andrews able to get away from it. Again, trying to get to the sidelines and does. Gets maybe a yard. Another 7 seconds come off the clock. Again, with 2 timeouts, the entirety of the field is available to DePauw, but now about 3 or 4 snaps at most left before halftime.
Yeah, I think here you try to pick up some. You want to stop the clock. I mean, I think you probably try to throw it to the sideline here. See if you can get yourself that first down about 5 yards.
So the line to gain for a first down is the 35-yard line. Just 3 rush, quick hitter, catch made, that's major. He'll have the first down. Only 5 seconds come off the clock on that play.
Yeah, and that's big, like I said, maybe throw to the sideline because you keep the timeout here. So now you kind of have an option to throw something in the middle of the field, call a timeout, then run another play and set up the field goal. So that was the right decision, the big play.
Frankly, Brad, I think the play here is hand the ball to Baumgartner.
Could be, yeah, draw, see if you get about, they worked it well on the last series.
Yeah, that's what those timeouts afford you, exactly right.
And Wabash is kind of walking up a linebacker or two just in case. It is a blitz. Andrews, again, will just throw this one away. And now with 5 seconds left to go, your options likely are a 51-yarder into the wind, try to pick up 3 or 4 yards on a sideline route, or just throw for the end zone and hope for the best.
Yeah, I think if you try to pick up something, it's got to be super quick, just like we saw to Josh Major on the play before. I mean, I like that because I think if you get to about the 30, maybe you could try the field goal, feel better just inside the 30. But I'd like to see another quick hitter here. I think there's time for it.
And frankly, if you're DePauw, you want to call the timeout, you can. You don't have to save an extra one with 2 left. Drake's long is 45 on the season. Andrews setting up. It's got to be the end zone. This is the last play barring a penalty. And this one reaches the end zone, but I think Ferguson got it. I think make that 2 picks in the half for the former Park Tudor Panther. Again, simply put, quarter 1 belonged to DePauw. Quarter 2 belongs to Wabash. And a very happy head coach, Little Giants, and Don Morrell will be joining Derek Schultz coming up in a matter of moments. Let's take a look at Andrews' second pick of the half.
Yeah, I mean, that's just... like I said, I would have liked to see maybe a quick hitter, but, if that's not there, you throw it up. The only problem, I think, with that was you only had one DePauw guy really down there to catch that ball. You'd like a few more guys in the vicinity for a tip or some other kind of possibility to catch that Hail Mary.
So you saw the sea of humanity walking by. We'll catch the head coach and Don Morrell with Derek Schultz coming up here in just a matter of moments. But, Steve, your thoughts as to where this game stands now?
It's been a crazy game. You said it, the tale of 2 quarters right there. And I keep looking at the stats, and I see, with Wabash was 60 yards through the air, which is just unbelievable.
To get to Derek Schultz standing by with head coach Don Morrell.
I'm with Coach Morrell. Coach, they say Wabash always fights. What do you think about your kids and their response in that second quarter in a 21-0 hole?
Well, a horrible start, but we're fighting through it. We need to continue to run the ball, and then we've got to hit a play in the passing game.
You talked this week on your coach's show about turnovers and how you had to play perfect. Obviously, you didn't do that early on, but now you flip it the other way with 2 turnovers late. How much does that change kind of the momentum of the game?
I think we have the momentum. It's going to be maintaining it in the third quarter.
Coach, thanks so much. Back to you guys.
Derek, thank you very much. Wabash and DePauw. Again, this is more than just about football, but the football itself has been really good as it usually is. Tigers lead by 7 You're watching 127th Monon Bell Classic here on the ISC Sports Network.
I don't think I could have picked a more perfect place for myself. It's the players, all the players we've had here and all the coaches, how they play with their head and heart, and they hustle and hit. And you always talk about the 4 H's. DePauw is just, as far as I'm concerned, I couldn't be coaching at a greater place.
Tiger Pride is a personal commitment to excellence in anything you do. Play with your head and heart, man, and you come out on top. Remember, DePauw never quits. Let's go.
McCulling in time.
Oh, no!
It's good.
This one is caught.
There you
go.
go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way. That is Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com. Back at Little Giant Stadium, DePauw raced out to a 21-0 lead, which is unexpected in this rivalry. One side dominating the other. We get to quarter number 2. They say Wabash always fights. They did in quarter number 2, and they have fought their way back into it. It is now a 7-point game. DePauw will have the ball to begin quarter number 3. During halftime, we're going to go in depth on each of these wonderful institutions and what makes them what they are. We start with the home team today. Here's more on Wabash College.
Athletic facilities speak to the level of commitment to students, and our facilities here are some of the best in the country. Full stop, even compared with other Division II and Division I programs. Our facilities stack up or exceed a lot of those other campuses.
There's one school in the country that proudly proclaims we fight. Whether it's on the football field or in the classroom to prove a point, this college is competitive everywhere.
You know, you're surrounded by guys who are really serious about academics and really serious about athletics, and it kind of pushes you to work a little harder and be a little better every day.
We are teaching, on the track. We are teaching off the track. We are the same coaches in practice that we are at a small meet, a conference championship, or a national meet. We will slow it down in practice. Like, we're not afraid to spend a lot more time individually on some things. We don't have cookie cutter practice plans. We do a lot of things individually for athletes to get them better, and still making sure you're okay emotionally, and you're confident, and you're ready to go.
But they'll be able to apply that lesson of hard work and dedication to whatever field they decide to be professional in, and that'll help them be successful.
The biggest benefit to guys coming to Wabash College that want to compete at a very high level in their sport is just basically championship level facilities for all sports. You don't see that very often. It creates a very cool environment, a very competitive environment on campus, which helps you then start chasing trophies.
We're trying to take every day as an opportunity to better our guys, to build a team that can compete for conference championships and ultimately compete nationally like so many of our teams here at Wabash have been able to do.
Everybody around campus seems really to enjoy the athletic side of Wabash. People see that and see that excitement on campus for, whether it's a basketball game or a football game or a volleyball game or a baseball game. It's easy to see how much the campus cares about our athletics programs. I'm not sure you're going to find another Division III school with facilities like we have.
People need to see it to believe it. They need to come to Crawfordsville and physically see the athletic facilities we offer.
Let's talk about Wabash housing. Maybe you think it's the same at every college. Tiny rooms, old buildings, no choice? Think again. We've got 10 residence halls and 10 national fraternities. No matter what you choose, you'll have access to laundry, kitchens, and common rooms with games, TVs, even instruments. Long story short, the choice is up to you. On-campus living is required, but with the options available, you'll know this is home.
Shot at the buzzer. She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot! Hello!
Did it again.
Hello!
Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello! There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow.
This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Once again, welcome back to Frank Navarro Field at Little Giant Stadium. It's the 127th edition of the Monon Bell Classic. It is Wabash trailing DePauw by a score of 21-14. We referenced this gentleman off the start of the broadcast. He is the honorary captain for today's game. These days, you might know him as Peyton or Eli, and I'll try to say this the way Peyton would. Cooper's dad, and the National Football Foundation president, of course, a tremendous player at Ole Miss, the New Orleans Saints, the Houston Oilers, and briefly the Minnesota Vikings as well. We are absolutely thrilled to be joined by Archie Manning here in the broadcast booth. Archie, it is great to see you, and welcome to Crawfordsville.
I'm just honored and thrilled to be in Crawfordsville. I got in last night, just been nonstop, and I'm having a great time.
Archie, tell us about what brings you here, the connection you have to this game.
Many years ago, 10, 15 years ago, got to know a fellow named Kevin Clifford, and Kevin played quarterback here. I believe it was 77, and we've just become good friends. He was head of a big company. I even did some work for him, some marketing things. We traveled around, did some things, but we just he lives part-time in New Orleans, a couple other places. We're just good friends, and so I learned about Wabash, and I'd heard a little bit, but I'd heard a little bit about this game, but this more and more, and then of course Kevin, as people Wabash followers know, got very involved with the building of this stadium, very, very generous. So I'm just, we had Lim, we had the quarterback come down to the Manning Passive Academy this summer. Lim's wonderful, Lim Thompson, wonderful young man, good quarterback. So just a couple weeks ago, I actually told Kevin, Ole Miss has got a home game today. Game day was in Oxford, Mississippi today, playing Texas A&M, big game. And I said, he's been to Ole Miss with me. I said, he said, you going to the Texas A&M Ole Miss game? And I said, yeah, probably we need to go down there. And I said, you want to go? He said, well, I got to go to the Wabash DePauw game that day. I said, I'm going with you. I'm going. So I'm here. I mean, it's just a kind of bucket list deal for me, and it's everything I expected to be. DePauw's got a good team. They got a good team, but I'm kind of proud of this Wabash bunch fighting back right here. Don't know what's going to happen, but it's good. It's good football, and the fans, and we did the tailgating. We got to know the coach. It's just great experience.
Because of Peyton spending 14 years with the Indianapolis Colts, does this almost feel like a second home to you?
Yeah, it does. I see so many people today that they follow the coach and they love Peyton. But those 14 years for us was just so awesome. We didn't come every game, not every home game, but we came a good bit. And our time in Indianapolis, which is a quality city, and Indianapolis kind of changed during that time. When Peyton first came, it was the RCA Dome, and they weren't very good and everything. And all of a sudden, they started winning, and things started happening, and just that whole era of they won a lot of football games. And winning is fun. Winning is fun. So we love Indianapolis. We miss it. We miss coming. It was just a wonderful time. Peyton loves and cherishes his time in Indianapolis, his friends there, his teammates, and the Colts. It was just a wonderful part of our life.
Archie, it is wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for the time. Enjoy it.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Archie Manning can kind of join us at halftime. We'll take this quick timeout. Tigers lead at 21-14 right here on ISC.
DePauw Tigers embrace Old Gold. The color gold and what it symbolizes is rooted in our history and the amazing experiences of our students and graduates. It reflects the whole of the student and student-athlete experience, striving to be the best. It amazes me that our student athletes can play huge roles on our teams, but can also hold major offices on campus, travel abroad, land internships, and ultimately go straight into unbelievable careers and opportunities.
Being involved in so many different student organizations has given me the confidence to then become captain of my field hockey team this year. I feel that the leadership opportunities that I have on this campus translate to my performance on the field. As a student athlete at DePauw, I am proud to be a Tiger and I am proud to be gold within.
At DePauw, you will be forced out of your comfort zone. You will be encouraged to succeed both in and out of the classroom, and you will be given the tools to succeed beyond your career at DePauw. And that's what makes DePauw an excellent academic institution.
To me, being gold within means pushing yourself to be the best athlete, student, and person you can be every day. The football team has a motto this year of going 1-0 every single day, meaning pushing yourself to be the best you can be every single day, win every single day. What's great about DePauw is that everybody fosters that environment on this campus. Whether it's the people you're living with, your professors, your coaches, your team, everybody pushes you to be the best version of yourself every single day.
Gold within, to me, means being a part of a family that extends well beyond the walls of DePauw University. Whether it's coast to coast in the United States or overseas in different countries, you're never too far away from someone that truly cares about going to DePauw University. They're always willing to help. They know you've pushed yourself academically, athletically, socially, emotionally here at DePauw University. You're never too far away from someone that wants to have your back.
Within DePauw's name is AU, the chemical symbol for gold. It's been there all along, representing the heart of who we are. Our students have a gold standard academic experience, driven by faculty who know and care about each one of them, nurturing their individuality, curiosity, and talent.
Our students are leaders while they are here, within the classroom, abroad internationally, within their living communities, both Greek and independent, as mentors, RAs, and fierce competitors on the field. The DePauw student is one who has this gold within to be a champion in every facet of their lives. And we see this in what our DePauw student athletes have gone on to do in their lives after DePauw, using their education and experiences to change lives as doctors, teachers, entrepreneurs, servicemen and women, and so much more.
The spirit within, the passion within, the desire to win. It stays with DePauw Tigers all their lives. It's what we stand for. It's who we aspire to be. Once you are part of the DePauw family, you will always be gold within.
Respect, trust, acceptance. Earning means more than salary. The Wabash grads do earn some of the highest salaries around. With the nation's best alumni network and outstanding career services, we show you what's possible through immersion trips, internships, and networking events. With those experiences and more, our students are admitted to graduate or professional school or land jobs before graduation. Here, you command your own success. Come to Wabash. Earn more.
A university that has gifted faculty committed to teaching, scholarship, and artistic expression, outstanding staff who contribute each day to our mission in innumerable ways, passionate alumni, and a university with the most incredible students from all across the country and the world who will each make their own indelible mark on our world. Students, let me hear you make some noise.
At DePauw, our campus is among the 50 most beautiful in the nation, and our student athletes compete in top-of-class and historic venues. Our grounds feature iconic buildings like East College, a 520-acre nature park, and a 5-acre campus farm. Our campus is highly collaborative and connected, with faculty and staff members supporting students, their passions, and their achievements. This is more than just a place, it's who we are. Come visit us and be a Tiger for the day.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you can watch, you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
Welcome back to Little Giant Stadium. Greg Rakestraw, Steve Hoffman, Brad Walker-Merca with you. We'll catch up with Brett Dietz, the head coach of DePauw University, coming up in just a matter of moments. Tigers lead at 21-14. Brad, it was 21-0. What has to change in half number 2 for the Tigers?
Well, I mean, not a whole lot. I think the thing that comes to mind is, really two things. There's the Chase Andrews interception deep in Wabash territory. I mean, that was a killer for DePauw. Definitely probably took points off the board. And then some bad penalties, a couple bad penalties there in the second quarter for the Tigers. Look, for DePauw, they come out, run the offense, move down the field and put some points on the board here. I think that goes a really, really long way. And defensively, I mean, yeah, DePauw has to be a bit more smart. Again, the penalties, but maybe a little more pressure on Liam Thompson. We didn't see a ton of that in the first half.
So Brett Dietz is making his way to our broadcast position. Quick thoughts on what has to carry over from quarter number 2 for the Little Giants, Steve?
I think just some momentum and getting some stops on defense because there was none of that going on in the first quarter. The defense made some stops, forced a punt, actually got a pick, 2 picks if you count the last one into the end zone. But just the defense, I think it's going to start there.
Again, DePauw won the toss. They deferred to half number 2. They'll have the ball to start this half. Let's go to the sidelines and Derek Schultz.
Coach, a 21-14 game, but obviously with the way that first quarter went compared to the second quarter, the trajectory of the game has changed. How do you get things back on your side here to start this second half?
Yeah, we just talk about winning every play, every drive, and every half, and we won the first half. And we fought back. We're normally a second half team. Those guys have fought hard every week, and we've come back and had some fourth quarter comebacks, and so I don't care what the score is. We're playing this as a new half, and we're up. So we just got to play like it. We started moving the ball again at the end of the second half. Just ran out of time there. So I expect our group to regroup and come back and play this half strong.
You're no stranger to this game, but you took this head coaching job 22 months ago, and this is your first Bell game. So how does the first half of the first Bell game been like for you, just this experience of being on the sidelines and leading this DePauw program?
There's nothing like this game. I mean, this game is special. Our team is special, and these guys will remember this game the rest of our lives. And it's going to be an exciting half of football, and we're excited that this game's back, and we're excited to be a part of it. We're looking to take it home the second half.
Best of luck in the second half, Coach.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
Derek, thank you very much. Let Coach Dietz get across the sideline because we are moments away from starting quarter number 3. And Steve, you and I had a lengthy conversation here on campus on Thursday afternoon, and we have focused, and again, because the football's been so good, that has been our focus. But for these young men, for the vast majority of these seniors, the next hour and a half is the last time they'll ever wear a football helmet and pads in their life. Is that thought process at all in any of those minds right now?
It's in the back of your mind, and Brad could speak on this too, having been a player, but it's just a unique sport. Other sports, there are many adult leagues around. You can always play in a basketball league or even a baseball league or volleyball, whatever you want to play. Football, you don't. And you will see guys in the locker rooms after this game, after their last game, sitting in front of the locker, with their pads on 90 minutes after the game's over because they just don't want to take them off and they know it's over. So it's kind of there. You don't really think about it in those terms, but when it goes down to 0 in the fourth quarter, it really hits you emotionally, whether you're on the winning side or losing side.
And obviously, Brad, for the DePauw young men, they know there is a game next Saturday. There's potentially more games after that in the Division III playoffs. But for those seniors, the last Bell game.
Yeah,
the last half of that.
Absolutely, Greg. And I think if you start even letting that idea of there's another game creep in your head, I don't think that's what Coach Dietz wants his Tigers to be thinking about. So even for his seniors, yeah, you're focused on, I'm a senior, this is the chance to keep the Bell, which it's been a long time since any DePauw Tiger player can say that they have won and kept the Bell. A lot on the line for these seniors.
Another line drive kick. Wabash will have the win at their back in quarter number 3. This is Roach on the return. Second kick return for him. Young man, a multi-sport athlete at Lafayette Central Catholic High School. Tigers will take over at the 28-yard line. Was it simply Steve on defense for Wabash in quarter number 2? What anything they did different? Just made big plays when they had the opportunity?
Yeah, I think we were covering people and giving our guys up front a chance to get to Andries and kind of contain him a little bit better. And wasn't really weren't allowing Baumgartner as many yards on the ground, which always opens up offenses when you can run the ball.
In terms of some halftime stats, Chase Andries 12 for 19, 166 yards, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Leon Thompson largely bottled up, 6 for 13 for 60 yards. However, the story for Wabash, 95 yards rushing on 27 attempts. Here's Baumgartner with a carry. Cuts back inside and limited to a gain of 2. Baumgartner now 13 carries for 71 yards.
Yeah, I think DePauw is going to want to see if they can continue to establish the run here. You know, they had some success rolling Andries out a little bit on some plays earlier in the first half. So, you know, we'll see if they decide to get Chase loose a little bit and let him potentially use his legs as well.
And a timeout's called by Wabash.
Timeout, Wabash, first charge, timeout.
Gosh, you hate that if you're a head coach to do that second play of the second half. Hopefully that won't come back to hurt the Little Giants, but that's a tough one to take.
Well, we'll go ahead and keep it right here on this timeout so early in quarter number 3. A chance to show you the halftime stats. Again, we had so many great things to tell you about these two fine schools, and when a Southern gentleman like Archie Manning would like some time at halftime, we're going to give him some time on the broadcast as well. So here's the numbers from half number 1. Again, you can see the total offensive numbers in favor of DePauw. In other words, when they racked up yardage, they generally got points behind it. Wabash kind of hit their spots in that second drive to score a touchdown. Absolutely massive for the Little Giants.
Yeah, it sure was when the defense started making plays. And Wabash, you really need to get that time of possession. I think it's an overrated stat oftentimes, but not in this game because we started moving the chains, moving the ball. It just meant we were having some success. But the number on that just blows me away is the 60 yards passing for this Wabash offense. Credit to the DePauw defense.
Let's give you average yards per play. For DePauw, it's 6.9 yards per play. For Wabash, it's 3.9. Yet they're a touchdown away here early.
Well, we don't like to show off and get too many yards.
We're more modest here in Crawfordsville.
Yes.
And now a flag is thrown. We'll add to the penalty totals as well. 4 for 40 so far against DePauw.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 2, 5-yard penalty. Down remains second.
Make it 5 for 45, just 1 for 15 against the Little Giants so far.
There's what you were talking about, Brad. Look over and Brad shaking his head. It's like we just talked about this.
It's a receiver, too. I mean, it's a receiver with a false start. That's something you can't have. So a little bit sloppy on both sides early on this second.
What spot did you play at DePauw, by the way?
Wide receiver. I never did that. That's why I was shaking my head.
Andries has all kind of room to run, turns it down and wants to make a play with his arm. You respect that. And that is the young man that we credited for making a block without making a block earlier in Jalen Smith, the freshman, averaging over 26 yards a catch on the season. That one goes for a gain of 10.
It was last week in the win over Oberlin. 3 catches, 145 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's a pretty good day at the office, and not good if he's on your fantasy team's bench.
Well, our coach talked about him, and he can fly.
So 3rd down and short coming up here. Smith, a freshman from Willowbrook, Illinois. Play clock is at 7. Blitz coming. Andries reads it immediately, gets rid of it, finds Major first down.
Just great recognition, I think, even pre-snap of the coverage there. Very soft. New Major was just going to run out, turn around, quick pitch and catch, and that's an easy first down for the Tigers. Nice job by Andries to recognize that.
DePauw now 6 of 8 on 3rd down, and that is one thing that both teams can agree on as far as what they have done well. DePauw is 6 of 8 on 3rd down. Wabash is 6 of 9 on 3rd down today.
Yeah, and I won't be surprised if we see DePauw doing a lot more of that quick throw, quick hitters. We're in cover 3. Wabash is sitting deep, and
Smith, good open field tackle to prevent that yards after catch. It'll be second down after a minimal gain. Avery Epstein makes the tackle for the Little Giants.
Just like you said, Steve, guy in space, that's essentially a run on first down. You'd like to get a few more, but you're putting it in your playmaker's hands, guy that leads the nation in yards per catch, very good athlete, and seeing if he can break one, and that time just a really good sure tackle by Wabash.
Avery, one of several players from the Bulls School in Jacksonville that are a part of this Wabash College program. Andrews looking for the throwback screen, and Baumgartner has blocking and room. He'll have a first down, taken down at about the 35-yard line. Good play designed that time by the Tigers, and once again, they have crossed the 50.
It's the center, Zach Bowman out there, 73, getting a nice block. You'll see this is just set up very well. Nice patience. Good throw to get it to Baumgartner. There's the block by Bowman, and a good pickup for DePauw.
Jose Franco makes the tackle. Senior from the Bronx in New York. Again, we rattle off a lot of high schools of Indiana kids, but trust me, this game is not just limited to being a big deal here in the Hoosier State. Or no, these schools limit themselves in terms of bringing great young men, and in DePauw's case, women from other states in this country as well. Handoff goes to Baumgartner, and Baumgartner will pick up a couple. Second down and 8.
And Greg, you mentioned people around the world are able to watch this, and Wabash and DePauw both have telecast parties around the country, usually over 60 of them. Some are Wabash and DePauw events together. Some are just DePauw events, some are Wabash events. So there are a lot of people invested in this, getting to get around the country in their Wabash and DePauw gear.
So 5 wide. I don't think we've seen this formation yet today from DePauw at second down and 7. That's got Wabash scrambling defensively. Catch is made. That's one of the tight ends that, again, slipped out of the formation. And that is good for a first down. That is Aaron Candiano, 6'2", 225-pound senior on the catch, his first of the day.
I like what DePauw is doing. They're spreading it out. It gives options to Andrews here. A lot of guys in space. Wabash is pretty quickly getting off the line and coming back in coverage in that cover 3 you mentioned, Steve, and it gives a lot of quick hitter options to Andrews, and he's taking advantage.
If that play wasn't scouted by Wabash, I don't blame them. That was Candiano's second catch of the year.
The Candy Man.
A man from Pendleton Heights High School, and once again, DePauw has the ball in the red zone. And no points in the second quarter. A couple of interceptions thrown by Andrews, both at this end of the field. Play clock is at 1. At 0, got it off just in time. No, he did not.
Delay of game, offense number 11, 5-yard penalty, down remains first.
I think he was trying to change it up. Wabash sitting in a man-to-man that time, looking like somebody was going to come, and in fact they did on the snap, so I think that's what caused Chase a little extra time.
Yeah, that was a good call by the officials. Initially thought they were going to let that slide, but that was clearly kind of beyond that sort of extra 0 second, if you will. That's a good penalty call. And, for DePauw, again, got a momentum, and now they've shot themselves in the foot with a penalty, but still just first down.
So 1st and 15. Opening drive of the quarter has taken 4.5 minutes off the clock. It's Baumgartner. Turf Monster kind of threw off his rhythm on that play. He gets a yard and then is shut down. Again, 3 points here, and there's still 2 or 3 downs to work with for DePauw. Field goal is good. Makes it a 2-score game, but it would feel like another win for Wabash defensively, limiting them to just 3.
Yeah, it would. And the game's not going great on defense when you're happy by limiting a long drive to a field goal, but you're exactly right. You can't get down 2 big scores.
Pump fake and go, and now the check down route. That's Major that able to hang on to the football. Tackle for Wabash made defensively by Josh Myers, senior from Shenandoah High School.
And again, you wonder right here if this is 4-down territory. You've got some good kickers on DePauw's, but the offense with so many options and so many weapons, 7 means so much more than 3 here. And with this win, no guarantee of a field goal even at this range.
Well, we talk about this great Wabash drive to end quarter number 2. DePauw's trying to answer to start quarter number 3. Try to find a seam. Catch is made. That's going to be down inside the 1-yard line. That's Jalen Smith.
That's an amazing catch by Smith. We'll see on the replay the ability to go up, get the ball, take the hit, and kept the ball in his possession. He hit the ground with the ball, but he had it in his possession. Great calls inside the 1, but that's a big play on a long 3rd down.
Smith It hasn't made that big play in terms of yardage today, but has made several really good plays like this one. That hit delivered by Franco for Wabash. It's Baumgartner looking for his third touchdown of the game, and he has got it. Touchdown, DePauw. They have stretched it back to a 2-score game.
That's exactly what the Tigers were hoping to do coming out of the locker room. Looked like that offense we saw when it was really humming in the first half. You saw all facets there, some long passes. You saw the quick check down game and even some runs from Baumgartner. A really well done offensive drive by DePauw to answer. Their offense had been stymied in the second quarter, so a big touchdown for the Tigers.
So a drive that takes 6 minutes and 8 seconds off the clock. Neighborhood of 75 yards. Extra point try is up, and this one is in your living room. Back after this, 28-14. DePauw leads by 2 scores here on ISC.
Respect, trust, acceptance. Earning means more than salary. The Wabash grads do earn some of the highest salaries around. With the nation's best alumni network and outstanding career services, we show you what's possible through immersion trips, internships, and networking events. With those experiences and more, our students are admitted to graduate or professional school or land jobs before graduation. Here, you command your own success. Come to Wabash. Earn more.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
Drake, even into that breeze, reaches the end zone. Kid's got some leg on him now, doesn't he?
He really does. Got a rifle leg. First day of deer season here in Indiana, too, so making the rifle reference from Drake.
Of all of my friends that I thought would make a hunting reference on a broadcast, I didn't peg you as that guy.
I don't know. It just hit me. Today's a good day for a rifle, for a Drake, for a big leg, so it's hunting season, and so I know a lot of folks, it always hits me because Monon Bell Day is always opening day of hunting season. It just feels like I have friends out and folks that go do that, and I always seem to remember, yep, that's the first day. So it's a big day for a lot of people in the state of Indiana.
First down and 10 at the 25-yard line. This is Snyder, and Snyder stopped after a minimal gain. And again, the young man that has impressed me as much as anybody defensively has been Zonka up front for DePauw. Because when you think a nose guard, you don't think of a guy that moves a lot. But he is in on so many defensive plays for the Tigers.
Yeah, that's one of the first things just kind of going through the stats this week. I looked at Greg, leading tackler or up them. Nose tackle.
Right.
You don't see that very often.
Right, their job is usually to keep the guys off the linebackers.
They'll try Snyder the other direction. Snyder will cut back, and again, the gain is minimal. That's Brevin Good, young man that wore the same color scheme in high school in his days at Avon. Third down and 9.
It's a good tackle. Had to say it, but that's an important tackle because there was room to run if Good doesn't wrap him up right there. So that was a really nice job.
You had that in your pocket all day waiting for that.
Waiting for it.
Just so easy. No, that one just came to me.
To play that to the last one, a little bit off the mark on that one. Now, third down and 9, and Zonka's going to claim that somebody moved. Wabash thinks it was the nose tackle. I tend to think I would agree with Wabash, and the line judge does too.
Before the snap, offside, defense number 66, 5-yard penalty. Down remains third.
We give credit to the nose guard, then he jumps offside with the ball right in front of him. Third down and 4 coming up.
That's how it tends to work.
Almost to the halfway point already of quarter number 3. It's a great thing about small college football. It goes by quickly. Third and 4. 8 in the box for DePauw. Thompson in the flat. Catch is made. First down. That's Sullivan. Sullivan will go down at the 38-yard line, a gain of 7. But Wabash will move the chains.
Yeah, this is a really important drive. It felt like we've been in this situation watching this game, and Wabash fans have been in this situation all game. Just you can't let them get too far ahead, right? You got to do something now that DePauw scored. We have to follow up. It puts a lot of pressure playing from behind all game.
So again, third down conversion seemed to be solid for Wabash as they now pick up their 7th third down conversion of the game, and Snyder picks up the tough yards again. If he gets to 114 today, that will be good enough for 1,000 for his career, but there is a flag down at the end of the play.
Snyder a little slow to get up, too.
Face mask.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense number 5. 15 yards added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
It's like you see the game as a referee or something, Steve.
Yeah, maybe I should get into it.
It's amazing how that works.
I just close my eyes and throw the flag every now and then.
My partner has refereed a state championship game, and your crew is eligible to go to the semi-state round this year, correct?
Yes.
Which means I expect Steve to be working next Friday or Saturday.
Hopefully it's a game that you're doing.
There's a 1 in 12 chance of that happening next week, my friend.
Do that percentage.
Handoff goes to Snyder, and Snyder will carry this to the 36-yard line. And let's talk about another factor here, Brad. The penalties really starting to pile up for DePauw.
No, they're not good. I mean, that was 3rd and long on the offsides by Zonka, and that makes it 3rd and manageable and a quick hitter for a first down. And then that one, 15 yards, that's just a killer anywhere that you are on the field. And you take some of these penalties away, there's an entirely different ballgame.
2nd down and 3. Fake the handoff, Thompson on the keep. Now has to fool everybody on the field. Goes the other side and will pick it up. First down and will step out of bounds at the 26-yard line. And simply put, that play is what makes that young man special.
Yes, and you see that on both sides of the ball with Chase Andrews, and we're seeing almost mirror images of each other, how they play, because you bottle them up, and as a defense, you think it looks looking good, and somebody makes a play with their legs, you kind of hold your ends up as a defensive coach, say, what could we have done on that one?
And Thompson, 369 yards rushing on the season coming in. 12 carries for 41 yards and a touchdown today. Handoff goes to Snyder, and he will plow forward to the 20-yard line, picking up 5 or 6 yards on the play. And again, Wabash now has toted the rock 33 times in 47 offensive snaps today.
And all year we've been watching runs by Donovan Snyder just like that one, kind of moving the pile, and he ends up getting 6 yards out of it, and it doesn't feel like it. So, Donovan closing in on just 55 yards, just went over 60 with that run, but it still doesn't feel like it.
Fake to Snyder. Thompson finding pressure, and again does get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe even gains a yard. So not a sack, not a drive killer, but it's now 3rd down.
Yeah, Thompson, I think that time he had Sullivan wide open in the slot, and I was or in the flat, and I'm not sure he didn't see him. If he just pulled the ball down too quick on that one. I was going to mention, Sullivan caught his first pass a few plays ago. This guy's a huge weapon. I kind of wonder if that starts to get him into the game, and something that Thompson's going to look for, because he had him open there for a nice game.
That's a really good point, Brad, because Cooper Sullivan has been very, very quiet today.
Thompson looks. Fires, crossing pattern, first down, could be a touchdown, blocking down the field. Wabash has got it. It's back to a 1-score game, and Heisman Skeens can pose after that one.
There's the line you've been waiting for too, Greg, and later on your lap. I got to up my game here.
You're next.
You got a good tackle.
You've got 20 minutes left to go on the broadcast.
Compose. I'll see what I can do, but look, exactly what Wabash needed to do, getting 2 scores down and coming back. So. A long drive on that one as well, so did everything they needed to do.
DePauw scores, Wabash answers. Both teams a touchdown on their opening drive of the half, and the extra point try is good. 4:58 to play, 3rd quarter. Back to a 7-point game as you're watching the Monon Bell Classic here on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
As we come back to action, fair catch is called for and made by DePauw, so the Tigers will start this drive at their own 25-yard line. And Steve, I keep waiting for that Wabash trick play. I keep thinking, given the struggles their defense has had this year, there's an onside kick coming at some point. Haven't seen it yet from the Little Giants.
Yeah, I'm sure knowing Coach Burrell, the gambler, as we said earlier, has something up his sleeve, either in the kicking game or maybe on offense. I'm just waiting for the right time to do it. And going back to this kickoff, DePauw fair caught it to get the ball in the 25. Wabash has fair caught, unless I missed some, I believe every kickoff return this year, every one, because Don Morrell says I get better average field position if I just fair catch it. You're not getting injuries, and yeah, that's a key to him.
The health factor's a big deal on that play. Andrews rolling pocket, that's Smith, and Smith did something he should not have done. He tried to make a move before he caught it. Second down.
After he made that great catch on the 1 yard line in the last drive, uncharacteristically with the drop, and it's just little things like that, penalties, drops on wide open passes, that's what lets the team back in this game, and DePauw is towing a fine line with some of these mistakes.
I want to say a quick hello to Kyle Bradford, who is watching on YouTube from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, DePauw University class of 1979. Kyle, thanks for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. Second down. Late decision to pull by Andrews, and nothing materialized. And again, we have documented how good both of these teams have been on third down. Going to be 3rd down and 9 now for the Tigers.
Yeah, this might be the biggest play of the game so far, with DePauw backed up in their own territory. 3rd and long, Wabash with a lot of momentum. This is a big one for the Tigers.
There have been lengthy 3rd down conversions by both teams in this game. Little Giants bring 4. Andrews throws, Smith dropped it again. The freshman with a couple of drops right in front of the Wabash bench, and we have not said this very often today. Here comes the punt team on for either side. Wabash can get the football back with a chance to tie the game.
Well, you know, Smith on that one, you know, he just dropped when that ball was in the air a long time if you're you know, Jalen Smith trying to get back into it. But a lot of cushion out here. Fortunately for the Wabash defense, that Jalen just dropped that one. But
yeah, I mean, no, you got to catch up ball. There's one of those weird ones, Steve, though. It's kind of a fluttering. You're waiting forever. You're trying to come back
on
to
your
the football.
knees.
On your knees, yeah. Slipped a little bit. It's not the easiest of catches, but hey, you're wide open. You got to make that play.
Yep.
Danny Wilkinson on to punt this ball away for DePauw. Young man from Woolridge, Illinois. And now, whistles go. Delay of game.
Delay of game. Receiving team number 33. 5-yard penalty. Down remains 4th.
There are so many elements of this rivalry game that you have heard about. What really strikes me is how much the fans on both sides, I wouldn't say are into it, but feel they're a part of the game. Like, in other words, they feel they can't let their energy level down because their team would have the same thing happen to them.
yeah, it's such an all-encompassing rivalry. There are bigger rivalries, but everyone in the stadium and everyone watching, it feels the same way.
Woolridge's kick. Spiraling catches made by Cooper at the 49-yard line. That is a kick of just 30 yards into that breeze, and momentum right now on the side of the Little Giants.
Yeah, you really do feel that when you're playing in this game on the field, because, you know, even a good crowd is maybe a third of this at other games or other big games that you might play. So when you get this many people and this many people cheering for you or against you, it really is inspiring, gets you energy up, and so it's a big part of this football game.
Between the three of us, 59 Bell games combined. I have one. Steve has 40, so you can figure out there in the math how many Brad has been to. Steve has been at every Bell game now since 1981, his freshman year on campus.
That just means I'm old, but thank you.
Seasoned is the way to look at it.
Seasoned.
Thompson fires, catch made, and a big gain to be had. That's Allen taken down inside the 20-yard line, but there's a flag on the play. It may be a roughing call, let's see. As of now, it's a 31-yard pickup, but let's see what the flag is about. Little Giants think it's going against DePauw.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 27. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Derek Allen had 39 catches on the season. Redeemed that kind of that hit with the top of the helmet by the DePauw defender and Luke Marsh. So now all of a sudden it's going to be 1st and goal for Wabash, the 10-yard line.
Well, you got Smith as a big play receiver for DePauw. You got Derek Allen as a big play receiver for Wabash.
Thompson is trying to buy some time, find an open man. Will fire this one, and almost had a chance to be caught by 2 different Wabash players. It was not. Second down.
And it's a tough place to score from. I mean, they penalty took it right at the 10. You can't get a first down, so you got to just punch it in. But Wabash is not looking for a field goal, although if we get, I don't think it's 4-down territory with only a 1-score game at this point. It's felt like it most of the game, but not this time.
And literally 2/3 of the offensive snaps have been rushing plays for Wabash today, but they go 5 wide this time. Thompson escaping the pocket. He will throw, and through the hands of the young man who's made that great grab, and Derek Allen It'll be third down.
Yeah, it's 2 plays in a row where I thought Thompson might just tuck it and run. The first one tried to get some yards. That one, it looked like he might have had a lane to the end zone.
Yeah, I think so. There was one of the linebackers, I didn't get a number for, DePauw started coming and chasing him, but may have closed down the angle.
By the way, that fence is fighting very much a losing battle in that end zone behind the goalpost.
Yeah.
The DePauw fans have been making just a little bit of movement towards the turf during the course of this game.
And what a new environment for these guys to play in. You know, they don't play in this all year.
Third and goal. Thompson going to tuck it and run, and now fires. Touchdown. Touchdown, Wabash. Claiborne, the tight end. And the Little Giants can tie it with an extra point.
You know, when Liam Thompson runs an offense, we've said it all year, he feels like he's in control. You feel like he's in control of the game. Perfect example. He waited and waited and waited until the defender came off, and then he snuck it in.
For Thompson, his second passing touchdown of the game, number 27 of the season. And for all intents and purposes, you thought he was just simply going to run that ball and get as much as he could. Found an open man in the corner of the end zone.
And actually, the defender got his feet tangled up and fell down.
And the extra point try is good. And for the first time since the second drive of this game, it is all tied up the way you'd expect a Bell game to be played.
This is just a great back and forth. I think, you know, DePauw right now just needs to kind of regroup. The penalties have been a killer really since the start of the second quarter. They know their offense can move the ball. We've seen it already in this half, so expect
27.
Andrews to come out making some big plays here on this drive.
Jackson Claiborne, a senior from Springfield, Ohio. So he grew up in the backyard of Wittenberg, the other big rival for each of these two teams. Not that there's any rival even close to the other for these two conference foes. The young man with his 6th touchdown grab of the campaign.
So you mentioned a tie game. Talk about this rivalry. There's just some weird things in this rivalry that keep it close. The Bell became the trophy in 1932. What was the result of that game? A tie. I was coaching here for the 100th rivalry game. Going into the 100th game, folks, the series was tied 45-45 and 9 ties. So out of 99 games, it was tied. And they were coming off a tie. The 99th game was a tie. So just some crazy stuff.
I guarantee you we're not ending in a tie today. That much I know. This one, again, another low line drive kick. This one will be returned. Major will pick that up. And he'll get back to right around the 25-yard line, which is where he would have had it if he could have fair caught it. And I said Major, my apologies. That's a different player that was back to return that for Wabash. That was Sheehan that made that play. 25-yard line. And again, DePauw really, up until the last drive, has moved it virtually every time they've touched the football.
Yeah, they really have. So no reason to panic. I think just similar to Wabash early on in this game when we saw them down 21, we said, hey, don't panic, right? Like just run your offense, run simple plays, and that's the same thing for DePauw here. Tie game, start from scratch, run your offense. It's worked so far.
Andrews 19 for 28, 242 yards passing, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Fake the handoff. Looking for the deep ball. Trying to go back to the young man that had a couple of drops last drive. That was Smith, and could not get to that one some 40 yards down the field.
Well, I said it earlier, the Achilles heel of this defense, the Achilles heel, has been giving up the big plays, usually the big pass plays. So this time, everything I've seen deep, I think this cover 3 has suited Wabash defense well, which we haven't played a lot this year.
To show you how atypical even allowing 28 points has been for DePauw, 7 of the previous 9 teams they have played have scored 14 or less. Handoff goes to Baumgartner. And Baumgartner stopped after a gain of 3, maybe 4. Tackle made by the Little Giants. Josh Myers, a name we have called a lot today, and once again it's third down.
Yeah, I think DePauw's had a lot of success sort of out in the flat. Some of these quick routes, quick hitters, a bit surprised to see them go down the field. 3 guys around the receiver on first down, and now you're faced with third and kind of long again here. So, you know, if Wabash backs off quickly, we may see one of those quick hitters to the outside from Andrews.
Then you get the nose of the football to the 35-yard line. 3-man rush out in the flat, and that's an incomplete pass. That's a tough throw. Major Slipped as he tried to make the break. Franco was in coverage, and it's a 3-and-out again for DePauw.
That one's all about timing there. Major slipped a little. That's a couple of passes from Andrews that we've seen a little bit overthrown, a little wobbly. Not sure if it's the direction of the field, the way that he's going, but in the last 2 possessions now, some of these passes from Andrews a little bit uncharacteristically underthrown.
And interestingly, coming out of the half, Andrews did exactly what he needed to do by completing 7 straight passes, but he's missed on his last 4.
Here's Wilkinson. Last kick was for 30 yards. Sullivan back deep to return. And now it's going to be I was going to say it wasn't a fake. That was simply necessity being the mother of invention.
Wow.
And able to find a seam through the oncoming pass rushers. And Rugby Sal kicked that ball to the 35-yard line, and that'll be the punt that young man brags about for the next few decades.
I want to know if Brad's heart has started yet.
I don't know. Somewhere Pat McAfee's giving this guy credit for looking at this play. I thought he had a hole and was going to run, and just to get that around the defender. Ooh, that's a lot of nervous coaches on the sideline for DePauw there.
We have seen quarterbacks not learn how to throw that ball sideways around defenders. Wilkinson punted that ball around defenders and picked up 36 yards. Hand off to Snyder. And Snyder just tries to push the pile forward. And frankly, 4 yards a carry right now is a beautiful thing for Wabash College.
Well, this is where if you're DePauw, your defense has stepped up time and time again this year and turned the ball over. Like we mentioned coming into the game, second in the nation in turnover ratio, and they had a couple early on. This is where DePauw really needs to look to attack and get the football.
Clock rolls approaching 2 minutes left to go here in quarter number 3.
In that last drive, really, Wabash has kind of got the DePauw defense felt like on its heels for the first time with putting it on the ground, or putting it in the air and leaving it on the ground.
4-man front. And Thompson, here comes Zonka. Able to get away from it. Makes the play for a first down. My goodness. Some wizardry from the former North Central Panther as Sullivan makes the play for a first down.
That's why we're excited to have Liam Thompson on the Wabash College campus, because you can't coach plays like that. I thought he was going to get tripped up first, gets away from that, but then has the wherewithal to step it up and then zip it in there. You can see the strength of his arm on this one with his body moving.
I'm not sure they teach that at the Manning Passing Academy where Liam went this summer, but they might want to have him instruct on that for a gain of 8 yards.
And Cooper, you mentioned earlier, Brad, starting to get into the game a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big play by a good receiver to come back to that ball with his quarterback scrambling.
Sullivan, 53 catches on the year coming in. Handoff goes to Snyder. There again is Zonka to make the play. It is a minimal gain, just of 1 for Snyder. Now 17 carries for 66 yards, none of them longer than 7 yards at a time.
DePauw's getting in and getting some pressure on Thompson. Just his legs give him that ability to escape to the outside and keep plays alive. But it does feel like the DePauw defensive line is starting to step up their pressure a bit.
Second down and long. Here comes pressure, and Thompson again just got rid of it. And there was a receiver in the area. Well done.
Wow. Yeah, how about that, flicking that out there like that, and he knew there was a receiver over there and just went over his head.
Because the defensive line has been getting some good pressure, that time DePauw was able to add an extra man, bring the blitz, and Hyatt came in and almost made a huge play.
What a different feel now in this game. I mean, Wabash has had some momentum, but once Wabash tied it up, it's just a completely different feel on strategy and what we might want to do here.
Wabash is 9 of 12 on third downs in this game, looking to add to it. Thompson waiting, still waiting. And he's past the line of scrimmage, does throw the football, and here comes the flag, yep. So that is a completion, but he had misstepped about a yard past that line of scrimmage. Yeah. This one's coming back.
Yeah, he was really close on the last touchdown by about half a yard. He just kept his body behind it. This time it might get him.
Illegal forward pass, yep.
Did you see what DePauw did on that? DePauw rushed one defensive lineman and had another defensive lineman behind him as a spy on Liam. Or maybe a linebacker. They rushed one guy. There, number 66 was the only rusher, and the second one was a linebacker who came in late.
Zonka might like his odds at 1 versus 5.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't that crazy?
And he wasn't, frankly, he was just holding the spot.
I mean,
he wasn't even going forward.
Forward pass across the line of scrimmage, offense number 2. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Loss of down, 4th down.
I was going to say, we wonder why Liam couldn't find anybody open. Well, there might be 9 people in coverage.
Good point.
Still, though, that's a threat with your legs. I mean, that's the risk you run there.
And again, Steve serves as our Wabash analyst, and he's also our Mike Pereira here. So that is the rare penalty where it is also a loss of down as well. So here comes the punt team on for Wabash. Zwane averaging over 42 yards a kick this year. DePauw's defense gets a much-needed stand.
No, DePauw didn't have a returner out of the field. And then to call timeout, you could see Coach Dietz is really, really upset. There was no one back to return that kick.
So both teams will take two timeouts to quarter number 4.
Yeah, both teams have had unnecessary, unforced timeouts, if you will. Hey, we get 28-28 with the third quarter running down. Those timeouts are going to end up being huge one way or another.
Yeah, those are big-time timeouts heading into the fourth quarter. You almost wonder if, would you have been hurt that much not having a returner down there? But, hey, there's a big difference if this ball gets caught on the 20 or somehow finds its way down inside the 5-yard line.
Want to say a quick hello to Ryan Dickinson, another DePauw University man, watching us at a watch party in Atlanta, Georgia. Of course, he says go Tigers.
Hey,
Ryan, thank you very much.
Not that I'm counting, but
It's
you get
2-0,
shout-outs.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're keeping
realize
track
that.
of this. 2 DePauw shout-outs.
So Wabash folks, get your shout-outs in.
Can I throw a few in
Absolutely,
when I get a chance?
please. Okay. After this punt, the floor is yours. I am the arbiter here. I'm trying to keep things as even as possible. And this one a bit of a wobbly kick by Ane, but one that will not be returned, and it will get a little extra home turf bounce, and DePauw will have this at the 16-yard line. I know that a friend of mine and a great basketball player at Wabash College, Chad Tabor, is watching the broadcast today. So hello to you, Tabe. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast today.
Did you say a very good player or a great player? He was a great player here. Maybe you did. That's what you did say. He was phenomenal. The guy could jump out of the gym. And so hello, Chad. So now it's 2-1.
Was it he,
So well
Latham, and Estel that were the Newcastle trio back in the late 90s here at Wabash?
You're a sports.
I broadcast a game with those guys playing at Chadwick Court, and I love that gymnasium as I'm pointing to the gym that nobody else can see but the 3 guys here with me in the booth.
Estel is our all-time leading scorer, which may be passed up this year, actually.
Late give to Baumgartner, and that is the end of the quarter. We have 15 minutes of football left to go, maybe more at this rate. 28-28 the score. DePauw and Wabash in the 127th Monon Bell Classic as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
At the buzzer. She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Hello! Did it again. Hello! Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Bencher and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello! There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow. This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
I want to thank our great television partners bringing you this game, those on the ISC Sports Network, My Indy TV in Indianapolis, Comcast Xfinity Cable Channel 81 across the state. On 2nd down and 11, Andries misses the throw. And Brad, you mentioned this a possession ago. Timing is suddenly off for the DePauw passing game.
Yeah, and Andries looked a little bit upset with his receiver there on that one. That was Smith again, and so didn't look like the crispest of throws that we've seen from Andries. Something's off, whether it's the timing, the throws, or a mix of both.
Yeah, because they're open. They're just timing it up, throwing it short on one based on the timing.
Yeah, they're not contested throws. You're right, Steve. These guys are open.
So 3rd down and 11. Wabash brings 3. Burish almost gets there. Second man will get there. All 3 of them get there. It's a committee meeting for the defensive line at Wabash, and the punt team will have to come on. And for the Burish family, today is a rather monumental day here at Little Giant Stadium.
So the Burishes have had 5 brothers have played football here, starting in 2008 with Tyler Burish. So they've had Tyler, Cody, Ethan, Dylan, and Seth now as a senior. So these parents have not missed a game, home or away, since 2008, and they've had a son on the roster. Amazing story.
It is the only 5-brother family to have all played football in Wabash College in their well over 100-year history of playing the sport. Wilkinson's kick. Wabash nearly got to the last one. This one gets the benefit of that breeze. Wabash simply gets away, and it will be down to about the 48-yard line. So Wabash will look to go ahead on this one, and they'll start on the plus side of the 50-yard line.
Well, what a switch in this game. You know, Wabash has all the momentum now, and it's really been starting on the defense. And, you know, something's going on with some of those passes that they haven't timed up, which we just talked about. But Wabash getting a sack there, a little bit of a coverage sack, but we haven't done much of that. Wabash hasn't done much of that this year.
Yeah, suddenly the defense is starting to show out for both of these teams. And, you know, DePauw, nice defensive stand last time. Well, you know, have to see if they can build off of that momentum. They've had good pressure the last few drives on Thompson.
Here's some of those sack numbers for Wabash on the air in a matter of moments. Handoff goes up the middle. That's Snyder. It's 2, maybe 3, but to your point, that was the 17th sack of the season for Wabash. And coming in, Burrish literally had half of them with 8.
Yeah, right. So 2 a game. So it doesn't happen very often. And yeah, Seth, look, and these Burrish guys are not like they've just been on the roster somewhere. They have all started. They've all been players. 2 of them, I believe, were All-Americans, and Ethan and Cody.
Second down and 8 coming up for the Little Giants. And as you see on your screen, both teams have 2 timeouts left at their disposal. On the handoff, it's Snyder. Marsh amongst those, on to make the play. Again, the leading tackling freshman from nearby Western Boone High School. Gain of 3, it's going to be 3rd down and call it 5.
You guys notice how dark it's gotten outside here in this game?
I wonder about snow or something, or rain or whatnot.
And with the stadium, it feels like the Bell game kind of should be a dark, like gritty game. But when you get a stadium with no lights, it can almost become a factory.
I'm going to say that we can't flip the lights on at this point, is what we got.
Right.
Handoff goes to Snyder, and Snyder should have the first down. Did just enough to cross the 37-yard line as Wabash will move the chains.
Well, you know, 3 straight runs in a row to get a first down, and the more he can run the ball, we've talked about it all broadcast, the more he can run the ball, it opens up every part of your playbook.
David Gould made a solid tackle, but again, Snyder falls forward. Snyder now 20 carries for 72 yards. He has been the workhorse for Wabash today.
I like that play, too. They've been pounding the ball up the middle, but that one they're able to get the back with a full head of steam behind him, get to the outside, steal the block. That's a good play call.
Handoff and all kind of room this time for Snyder, and he's gone. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. It's 34-28.
Tell you what, Wabash, that's a great run by Snyder. We might see on replay the 12th man on the field for Wabash being the official that I think came over and got in the way of a linebacker for DePauw that had a really good shot at making that tackle. Regardless, a great run, though. And how about Wabash coming all the way back from 21 down right there? Ouch. Don't like to see that.
Ouch for who?
The official.
The official, exactly.
So Hanley on for the extra point. Wabash now has scored 3 times since halftime. Bit of a high snap pulled down, and the kick is no good. So while we were away, the extra point was missed. It's a 6-point game. Wabash in front for the first time here on the ISC Sports Network.
DePauw offers gold standard academics and athletics. Just this past year, we honored 2 COSIDA Academic All-America selections, NCAA postgraduate scholarship recipient, 2 All-America honors, earned conference coach, player, pitcher, and newcomer of the year, named 144 student athletes to the NCAC Academic Honor Roll, and crowned a regional champion, placing 3rd in the nation. This is more than just a place. It is who we are. Team DePauw.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now, because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened.
That's not going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Thanks to our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. We're going to go back and show you that missed extra point here in a matter of moments. The low line drive kick that Roach will return. Gets the 25 and stopped right there.
That's a great tackle. It looked like he had some room to run, so that's a big tackle and a nice wrap up by Wabash.
A great open field tackle after, unfortunately, a miscue on special teams that keeps it a 6-point game. And again, that ball was simply hooked left. And again, the snap was a bit high. Holder did his best to get it down, but as the specialist would say, it threw off the timing of the operation.
Yeah, that's what the kickers will say. I put my head down on this table and kind of banged it a little bit after that missed one, because look, in a game like this, we know the bell games too. Those kicks are huge.
The 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Andrews fires, catch made. Shaw, first down.
I like that a lot. Getting Andrews moving again outside the pocket. Wabash has had some good pressure the last couple of series, and like we've mentioned, something a little bit just seems to be off with Chase sitting back in the pocket, throwing some of these timing routes. That now opens it up for him to take the ball and run with it if needed and hit some of these guys on the move.
5th catch of the day for Shaw. Again, Shaw came in as the leading receiver on the season. That's now 46 grabs for the young man from Brazil and Northview High School. Handoff to Baumgartner. And Baumgartner, slowed, picks up 2, maybe 3. Those average yards per play, by the way, starting to balance it. At one point in time was kind of 3 yards, if not more, in favor of DePauw. Now, offense has been slowed a bit here since halftime.
I still can't believe this DePauw defense, one of the best in the nation, especially against the run, is now getting up 176 yards on the ground, outscored 34-7 since the start of the second quarter. It's not something we've seen from the Tigers this year.
It's the most they have given up against a Division III opponent this year. Here's the run pass option. That's Quigley. Quigley able to get a couple before Myers and many more meet to slow him down. This Wabash team playing inspired defensively in this half.
Yeah, we have seen that difference. You're right. Even on that kickoff tackle, I thought the same thing. It's up, all of the big plays defensively now have been from the guys in red, and we didn't do that at all in the first quarter.
In this game, you play for something greater than yourself, do you not?
Yeah, you do.
You get that feeling right now.
You do. It's like people are contacting you don't even know, alumni around the country. It's like, good luck tomorrow. It's like, it's a big deal.
3rd down and 6. Andrews fires and overthrows his man.
That wasn't even close. I thought Andrews had a chance to maybe step up and run for that first down, and that pass just got away from him. That had no chance to be caught, and this is a concern for the DePauw offense, the inconsistency of Andrews now the last couple of series.
Yeah, I think Wabash switched it up a little bit, went a little cover 2 that time. He tried to throw it in that seam between the corner and the deep half safety, and it just didn't get it done.
So Wabash now will get the football back with the lead with 10 minutes and change left to play in this Monon Bell Classic. Wabash is indicating they're coming after this when they nearly got one a couple of punts ago. Wilkinson, let's get this way without much of a spot of bother, and absolutely airmails this one down to the 12-yard line. That is a 48-yard kick with no return. And fellas, let's talk about the recent history of this game. And Brad, you mentioned it earlier, but when one team has locked up a playoff bid going into this game, generally the team that isn't the playoff team has found a way to win. We didn't think that was going to be the case at 21-0, but here we are looking at that exact scenario with 10.5 minutes left to play.
Yeah, this one's close. Some of the other scenarios there, the non-playoff team has come in and just hammered the team going to the playoffs, but it is an interesting observation from recent history in this rivalry. DePauw, by all accounts, the big favorite here, and now finds themselves behind.
Handoff goes to Snyder, and it's been a heavy dose of the run all game long, and expect more. That ball was ripped free, but well after the whistle had blown. Not much of a gain there. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, and it's a new territory for DePauw. It's DePauw's first NCAC championship this year, so first time since they joined the league in, I believe, 2008 or 2009 that they've been in that situation.
And their last conference championship was in their days in the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference. For over a decade, these teams were not conference rivals. Thompson throws, Sullivan catches, Sullivan makes a man miss, has a first down, steps out of bounds past the 30-yard line.
That's why Cooper Sullivan is a favorite go-to guy. You saw what he did after the catch on that one from Jacksonville, Florida. Cooper Sullivan, he's just a sophomore football-wise as Liam is. So they both started last year. We had the Thompson-Sullivan connection we're hoping to see for quite a while.
In the Bowles School, as produced a handful of players on this Wabash College roster. Every first down is a win right now for the Little Giants, protecting a 6-point lead. Handoff. Zonka and others there to help stand him up. Also Daniel Rafidi. First time we have called his name a sophomore.
Yeah, it's just these little things for DePauw. You know, a penalty here, penalty there, a missed tackle that time by Pooler, leading to extra yards. I mean, DePauw's going to look back at this, win or lose, and think as they get ready for their playoff game next week, these are just mistakes you can't make against good quality teams.
Snyder sitting at 114 yards rushing. He is exactly at 1,000 on the season. On the handoff, Snyder crosses that 1,000-yard mark, but more importantly, crosses the 35-yard line here and sets up, call it 3rd and about 5 coming up for the Little Giants.
Well, you know, really starting to get that 4 or 5 yards of pop. We haven't seen anything over 10 yards on the ground. It doesn't feel like, at least in this quarter, and really nothing less than 2 or 3 yards. It feels like everything has been in that 4 to 6 yard category, which works for an offense.
Snyder averaging 4.8 yards a carry. That's certainly helped by that 37-yard touchdown, and has put Wabash in front. Thompson fires, crossing pattern, first down. Hyatt makes the tackle, but once again a 3rd down conversion for Wabash. They are a scintillating 11 of 15 on 3rd down today.
Yeah, and been good all year, and you know, you got Liam Thompson's arm to do that. And we were talking about penalties, Brad, and you were talking about the unforced penalties that DePauw had. DePauw's had 10 penalties for 85 yards compared to 2 penalties on Wabash for only 20 yards. It's been quite a factor.
Sullivan kind of limped off after that one. Looks like he's all right standing there by the coaches, but we'll keep an eye on that after that nice catch.
Jacob Riddle will come in to replace Sullivan at least on this play. And it's a handoff to Snyder, and Snyder finds room off a right tackle. Crosses the 50-yard line, deemed to be a yard shy of the first down, but now those yards starting to pick up even more offensively for Wabash.
And the other thing that running the ball successfully does, it just is a different type of confidence, and it's a different type of deflation for a defense. When a team's running the ball on you, you're just getting beat. You feel like you're getting beat physically compared to throwing the ball. Look, I coached defense here for 6 years, and I remember games when you can't stop the run. It's very, very tough.
That is now 46 rushing plays for the Wabash today. This will be their 70th offensive snap of the game. Handoff Snyder, first down. And Marsh tackled him quickly, but didn't need much. Needed a couple of yards. And Snyder, by the way, has now toted the rock 26 times today.
26 carries. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of beating on your body. That's a lot of grit. But he's been doing that all year. Nothing new to him.
He's going to feel it Monday or Tuesday. He's not going to feel it tonight if this game keeps heading in its current direction.
Yeah, it depends how sore. Right, exactly. It depends how sore it is, whether you win or lose.
If somebody has to carry him across campus, he would find somebody to do that, given the tenor of this game.
130 yards now for Donovan Snyder. Wow, who'd have thought that? He's been doing that all year.
Hand off to Snyder, and again Snyder. We referenced this to Baumgartner earlier, same thing. Just put in his breadbasket, put both hands over the ball, don't give it up.
Yeah, you just feel like, 2 yards, 3 yards here, they're kind of setting up something bigger and an opportunity to get the DePauw defense back on their heels, whether it's run outside like we saw in that last 3rd down or maybe even a shot down the field. DePauw is not able to rip that ball out, not able to tackle for a loss. You worry about them playing kind of timid right now.
Carson Goodman, the backup quarterback, UC, helping to signal in plays next to head coach Don Morrell. Carson, a native of Mooresville High School.
And it forces the defense to bring a safety into the run fit sometimes, where then you are able to throw the ball.
That is Campbell giving Snyder a bit of a breather. Solid carry for Cade, the backup running back for the Little Giants, and now sets up 3rd down and 3, and clearly what could be 2 downs to pick up 3 yards for Wabash College.
Well, Campbell, look, right after that initial hit, got 4 more yards. That was a great second effort from Campbell. Goes from 3rd and long, and what might have not been 4-down territory to your right, Greg. Now, I think clearly probably 4-down territory for Wabash.
Like Heisman Skeens, young man, a graduate of Mississinawa High School outside of Marion. So 3rd down and 3. Again, it's Campbell, and Campbell first down. And could have a lot more. Campbell makes one man miss, brought down by Gould. It's going to be first and goal for Wabash at the 8-yard line.
And again, doing it on the ground. Campbell's been a great fresh legs guy for Donovan Snyder this year. They're a little different. Neither one has breakaway speed, but Campbell's a little shiftier in there where Donovan's just going to get his yards. You know, Cade Campbell's coming in at 5'7". Those running backs are tough to find and tackle sometimes.
Campbell on the season, third leading ground gainer for Wabash. 274 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns entering today's game. He's now got 6 carries for 49 yards. The rushing yards now 229 for the Little Giants. Back to Snyder. We get to the 5-yard line, in fact, to the 4. And again, if this becomes a 2-score game, even with a field goal here, all of a sudden that would be that way with under 4, maybe even under 3 minutes left to play in this Monon Bell Classic.
Yeah, I mean, sure, we saw the extra point get missed, so nothing's a given, but now essentially you're in chip shot field goal range too. So that's huge, that last run, to get them down here inside the 10.
Play clock is at 12. You would expect Thompson to drain a little bit more off of it too. Take the handoff. Looking, still looking. He'll get a couple of yards. It'll be third and goal at the 3-yard line, and Allen was his target, and the defensive back had just a little bit of jersey in his hands, and flags remained tucked in the pocket on that one.
Yeah, that was a close one right there for DePauw.
And again, you see on the sideline saying, hey, fellas, get up. We need your motion now. It's been almost all Wabash, really, since the opening drive of the third quarter. And the scoreboard would tell you the same. 20 unanswered for the Little Giants.
DePauw need to do everything they can here to rip a ball, get a turnover, figure out, get a sack, something here to slow this momentum. This is a big play.
Third and goal. Handoff, Snyder cuts it back, won't get it. And now you're left with a very interesting call if you're Don Morrell. Field goal to make it a 2-score game, or go for it for the win on 4th and goal from outside of the 1.
Shocked at all to see Don Morrell go for this.
I think he's going to go for it. I think you said you would be shocked if
No, I would be more surprised if he kicked the field goal, knowing what he does in these Monon Bell games.
Well, absolutely. And look, if you don't get it, I mean, you got it backed up under the goal line. And our field goal kicking has not been stellar this year either.
They're going to call a timeout, and so let's quickly step aside. This key 4th quarter play comes your way next here on ISC Sports Network.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul?
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
Little Giant Stadium, the first edition of this classic game in the newly minted Little Giant Stadium. 4th and goal, Wabash leads 34-28 at the DePauw 1-yard line. Thompson will try to keep it. It's the jump pass, and it's caught. Touchdown. It's Claiborne, his 2nd grab of the day. Make it 26 in a row for Wabash, and a 2-score lead with 2 minutes left to go.
That is the type of play we were talking at the break that Coach Morrell likes to pull out, and something like that. You know, Liam just kind of hesitates and waits. Look, he wasn't that open. It wasn't like he was a wide open guy. Just a nice little toss up to Clayton, and he's been a kind of a big play tight end type guy this year.
For the references to Jacksonville that we have made, let's point out that it was the Indiana guy to throw the Tebow pass to find Claiborne in the back of the end zone. Wabash will take their 3rd and final timeout. I would assume they're talking about what their 2-point play is going to be to try to make this a 14-point game with 2:21 left to go.
I'll voice it because I know a lot of DePauw fans will. 12th man again, that ref right in the middle. You see these guys, this time the DePauw guys were pretty upset at the official who went right back at him, kind of explaining his position. That official, that right in the middle, you'll see this. I mean, that's a tough pill to swallow with that official right there. I'm not going to lie, that's a tough one with those guys as close as they were to that ball. Great play, well designed. You can see them right here.
Yeah.
They're not happy with that official. Second time we've seen it.
The drive generally is known as something that John Elway has done from 30-ish years ago in the National Football League. Wabash fans might refer to that, what just happened, as the drive. 14 plays, 87 yards, 8 minutes and 9 seconds.
Yeah, that last break, we looked up, we're like, wow, there's 2 minutes and 19 seconds on it. A lot of that comes from keeping the ball on the ground, but that's exactly what you needed to do to go up 2 scores, because you just did not feel comfortable with number 11 on DePaul's side on the offense.
We think, too, this was a 21-0 game in the first quarter. To come back like that after getting just really punched in the gut, what a job by Wabash now with a chance to go for 2 more.
So 2-point try here after the missed extra point. On the counter, it's Campbell. And Campbell dives and makes it. He's in. 2 points.
Hit by 2 guys. What grit he showed to get across that goal line. You can see right above the score there, it's a little fitting. You see the Sphinx Club for Wabash and there's red and white stripes carrying the Monon Bell. There is a whole process here about when you can go get the bell and where it is in the fourth quarter. If you have a certain lead, certain amount of time, you're able to go get it.
Well, DePauw brought it with them. Wabash planning on keeping it here. And again, it was 21-0 after 3 DePauw drives. Wabash always fights is the slogan. That they did. And they suddenly have a 2-touchdown lead with just 2:19 left to play.
Yeah, this is just an amazing display on offense by Wabash. This is, I think when we talked ahead of the game, guys, we thought, hey, if this is going to be a Wabash win, maybe a bit of a low-scoring affair, given this DePauw defense, how good they are. And we see this, and it's just shocking to see what really in 3 quarters the Wabash offense has done against this DePauw defense. Now, hey, Chase Andrews is a veteran guy. This is a very good offense. Never say never for DePauw, but you're going to need to make something happen pretty quickly here to have a chance.
Wow. Yeah, what a change. 42-7 outscoring DePaul since giving up the 21-point lead.
Yeah, since the beginning of the second quarter. If this score holds, when does the party stop in Crawfordsville?
Well, we'll let them decide that.
What's the date of the game next year?
364 days?
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to ex-Dean of Students and AD at Wabash, Tom Bambry, watching from Phoenix. Now it's 2-2, by the way.
Fair catch called for. I'll put you one up if you'd like to. I got to scroll in the comments section here of those that are watching on the YouTube feed today, because Jesse Becerra, class of 2004 from Wabash, he is watching today's game with his 91-year-old grandmother.
Oh, fantastic.
Hope we're not putting too much of a scare in her with the dramatics of today's game. 42-28 again. A reminder, DePauw knows they will play next week. Even if they lose this game today, they had a 2-game lead in the conference, and as the NCAC champion, they are guaranteed to play in the Division III playoffs. This game goes a long way in terms of seeding as to where they might be heading next week. And again, Andrews and Smith could not get on the same page.
Look, and it's tough to – Wabash has done it a few times. It's tough to play in the playoffs after losing the Bell game. It's just really hard to come back, and we talked about how big the Bell game is to a season.
The Division III selection show, by the way, is tomorrow, NCAA.com, for you DePauw University fans to see where your team's season will continue. 2nd down and 10. Here comes pressure. Andrews just buying time. Now we'll tuck it and run, and picks up about 5 or 6. 3rd down coming up, and of course the entire field is 4-down territory at this juncture for DePauw.
Yeah, that's a good point, Steve, that you bring up. You lose this game, you go to the playoffs, you got to recover pretty quick. And that's a hard thing to do. It's good to know you have more football, but you got to get your head screwed on straight and ready to play it against a tough team.
Andrews throws, Shaw catches, gave up some ground. I think forward progress will give him the 1st down. Maybe not. Let's see where they mark it. Yeah, they're going to mark him short. So it's 4th down. 4th and a yard. He had it at the 35, went back to the 34, trying to evade the defender. This is it for DePauw. Have to convert here. Andrews looking, continuing, taking all kinds of time. Finally finds a man. That's Major. 1st down for DePauw, just shy of the 50-yard line.
Yeah, it took a lot of time on that, but hey, you had to have it to keep the game going, and Andrews did a nice job of showing poise, staying in the pocket, could have run, and made sure he found a guy open, and Major down the field, who's now down on the field.
So Major, again, the former quarterback at Columbus East High School. Reference that he played for Bob Gaddis, who retired at the end of last year. One of the legendary high school coaching careers here in the state of Indiana. And knock on wood, we see Major down. Again, they've got to play again in 7 days, but we have not seen a lot of that today. We've not seen the training staff need to come out very much. We've been lucky that that has been the case today. Would you like me to tack on another Wabash College shout out for you, Mr. Hoffman?
All right, we'll do it.
Max Johnson is watching from Valencia, Spain. Hello, Max. Thanks for joining the broadcast today. Now, Brad, I got to cater to you. I got to make sure I start to play this even.
That's right.
From the DePauw perspective.
Pick someone in a very exotic location. Who's out there somewhere in Hawaii or somewhere that's much warmer than Crawfordsville right now?
So first down to the 50-yard line. Again, DePauw can stop it twice. Andries. Again, will tuck it and run. Andries taken down in the field of play, and DePauw will stop it. Timeout, DePauw. They'll take one now with 75 seconds left to go in the game. They've got one remaining.
Yeah, this is where losing that timeout earlier definitely hurts. You want to be able to stop the clock as much as you can. And with only one timeout and a minute 15 to go, you need 2 scores. You're probably going to have to start throwing the ball down the field a bit here.
For both of you gentlemen, Brad, I'll start with you. To just be back here and have a full house, knowing we could not play this game last fall. This game was not, there was talk of potentially playing it in the spring. That was kind of quickly scuttled because you wanted to have this. You wanted to have this atmosphere at the game. Just to be back here, what has that been like?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, especially in the new stadium here, but to have everyone back, I'm glad they didn't kind of do this thing in the spring. I think this is the right atmosphere, the right time of year. You've just got feeling in the air when everyone comes together and knows it's Bell Week. This is great.
And Coach Merrill wasn't interested in playing spring football, which may have gone into it too, so we didn't have any games. He was just thinking about an injury that could carry over.
Second and short. Andries again. Now will fire. Catch made by Shaw. That's a first down. Gets away from a tackler. Runs through another. Now running through the secondary all the way across the field and is wrapped up at the 15-yard line. A pickup of 29 yards.
Well, that's exactly what DePauw needed. Get down the field and a good run after the catch. Now they got to start throwing this into the end zone.
Cade Lansdale makes the tackle, and again, DePauw has to go quickly here. Smith on the screen. But again, he will run across the formation. He is going to have an opportunity here. Gets to the 5 and knocked out of bounds with 49 seconds left to go, but that will be first and goal.
Yeah, I wanted to say at the outset how I didn't really like that play. It didn't look like DePauw was ready to go. It could take a lot of time, but hey, give credit to Smith. What an athlete. He made that thing count and was able to get out of bounds at the end after taking a lot of time off the clock.
Hey, there's a lot of game left, fellas. With 48 seconds, if you put the ball in here and an onside kick, you never know what's going to happen.
So first and goal. Andries fires and sliding catch is made. Did he keep his feet in bounds? Yes, he did. Touchdown. Touchdown DePauw. Major back out there after the injury and makes the grab for 6 points.
This became the second highest scoring Monon Bell game in history with 76 points right now, trailing only the 1893. They scored that much in 1893? 82
really?
Points. Did you pass in 1893?
That's good research over there.
Touchdowns
Brad.
may have been 5 points apiece back in 1893.
Wow.
DePauw getting the man out there late, but they should be okay. Extra point try. This is Sullivan. And Sullivan's kick, no problem. So I've been hinting at an onside kick a couple of times for Wabash. We know it's coming now. And if Wabash can recover an onside kick, they will bring the bell back to Crawfordsville.
It's not the side of the onside kick.
No.
We were referencing. Well, a couple big plays there by DePauw to get downfield. And going back to that fourth down play down here when Chase just sat in the pocket. It takes a lot of patience to do that and then kept the chains moving. That was the ball game right there.
I want to say some more hellos. Tim Raudebush is hosting the watch party in Kansas City. Has 30 folks gathered together to watch the game out in Kansas City today. Thanks to Adam, I believe, Hilkert from DePauw class of 2008, enjoying the game from Virginia. Henry Gilman, Wabash alum, is watching from Maine today. Wherever you might be watching us from, we thank you for being with us. It certainly has been exciting. One more moment left, and Great job by Eldon Wheeler on our camera down there to show you that Major not only had the catch, but stopped the slide before he got to the back of the end zone.
Well, and good to see him back out there, too, after he went off the field with that game pending next week.
So, your Wabash is out of timeout, so they can't get like a look at this, so to speak. Whatever the formation's going to be for DePauw, it is. And you got different rules these days. You have to have a balanced formation, a minimum number of players on each side. Drake bounces it high. Fight for the football. Flag is thrown. They might be scrambling for it, but there was a flag that was thrown late, and that could determine exactly what happens on this kick. Wabash has got it. Wabash has it. And we have talked about Liam Thompson so much today. How about his little brother Connor? He is the man that makes the grab on that onside kick play. And
there might be a sorry, Greg.
Go ahead. Wow.
2 players, number 3.
Oh, wow.
Do it again. So Thompson grabbed it the first time, but the referee did a wonderful job of explaining in Pete Hampton. There are dual numbers at this level of college football. And if you have 2 players wearing the same number on the hands team, it's usually the only scenario where it happens. But if you have 2 players that are each wearing number 3, you have to replay the down.
So you got receiver Derek Allen and defensive back Will Netting out there. So
we're both starters.
Will Netting be out on this play? We don't know.
You got it in. Just under the wire.
Waiting.
Just under the wire.
I've been waiting for Will Netting.
That was, going back to that was a pretty good kick.
Great kick.
Gave DePauw a chance. It's so hard to get these in these different new rules now, and that was a good opportunity.
So Wabash fielded onside kick number 1. It matters who fields onside kick number 2. Drake, again, pops this one up. Fight for the football. DePauw might have it. Let's see. Still waiting for an official signal. DePauw certainly thinks it's theirs. Could be changing hands inside of the pile as we speak.
Well, that was right in the breadbasket of a Wabash player. I couldn't see who it was, but it didn't look like he caught it cleanly.
No. Wabash has it. Wabash has it. And this time it's the senior. It's Josh Myers. Comes out of there with it.
You see the official down there on his knees. You got to dive in there as an official and we'll start rooting around.
Well, I mean, you can't ask for much more in a game like this. Back and forth, and to have an opportunity for DePauw on a second opportunity to get the onside kick, and it looked like for a minute they might have, and that's what this game's all about.
Right.
If I am a senior and I recover an onside kick in that scenario, I'm taking the ball home with me. I'm not giving that ball back to the official.
Nope.
That ball is in my possession for the remainder of my days. And you're right, the young man that got it in Thompson had a good look and couldn't hang on to it.
Yeah.
But Myers came out of there with it.
We'll never know. Stories will be told for years what happened at the end of the bottom of that pile.
DePauw can take a timeout if they so choose. Again, they've got 1, but it doesn't look like they are going to.
Wouldn't you use it? I mean, just never know about a snap.
Yeah, I agree. I think you at least see what happens.
Yeah.
But for all intents and purposes, it appears this game is over.
It's one of the craziest games I've seen.
It's the
from if you look at how it unfolded from beginning to end.
It's the Monon Bell. Would you expect any less? You hear the countdown. The team that has the dot after the W was the best team on the field today, period. And here comes the rush. Wabash College has claimed the Monon Bell.
That's just a great Monon Bell Classic. That's why they call it the Monon Bell Classic, because you hope for games like this and give credit to Wabash getting down big early against a playoff team, the conference champion in DePauw, and Wabash just stormed back and did something against this DePauw defense no one's done all year. Liam Thompson, what a special talent he is, and is going to continue to be here at Wabash.
Oh, Monon Bell, how we have missed you, and what a story in the first game to be played in nearly 730 days. Wabash was the underdog coming in. They will take possession of the bell as they keep it on campus here tonight. Final score this evening, Wabash 42, DePauw 35. Our post-game coverage comes your way next on the ISC Sports Network.
Let's talk about Wabash housing. Maybe you think it's the same at every college. Tiny rooms, old buildings, no choice? Think again. We've got 10 residence halls and 10 national fraternities. No matter what you choose, you'll have access to laundry, kitchens, and common rooms with games, TVs, even instruments. Long story short, the choice is up to you. On-campus living is required, but with the options available, you'll know this is home.
Shot at the buzzer. She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Hello! Did it again. Hello! Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello! There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit. Wow. This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not
before.
going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
The bell is back in Crawfordsville. Let the party begin. Wabash trailed 21-0. They ended up scoring 28 straight points in the second half. DePauw got one touchdown back. They couldn't get the football back. Final score today, 42-35. Wabash wins it. And the happy head coach of the Little Giants is Don Morell, and he is standing by with Derek Schultz.
I'm down on the sidelines with Victoria's head coach Don Morell. Coach, we talked about the game changing in that second quarter, their trajectory. Even after that opening drive, DePauw goes back up 2 scores, but you guys rattled off 42 of 49 points during one stretch. Your kids kept believing. How proud of you are their effort today?
Well, it's just another bell game at Wabash College. Incredibly proud. You can see the toughness and the grit that our players and our student body has too. It's what we teach here.
Liam Thompson was a magician out there for you during that comeback. There was a play down 21-0, a hard stiff arm right in front of your sidelines. It really felt like it revitalized your team and changed that whole game around.
Well, again, I think it also points to the toughness. He's a quarterback and he's doing that stuff. But I got to credit everybody, defense, offense, special teams. We played really well in the second half.
Especially with the heartbreak of 2019 and having to wait 2 years to have this game again. What's that feeling like now to emerge victorious?
I had forgotten about 2019 until you just mentioned it. But no, great. And those kids earned it. They earned every second of the joy they're experiencing out there right now.
Coach, congratulations and thanks for a great season.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Back to you guys up top.
Derek, great job. We'll try to maybe get you one more chance to get a player if you can get one from the mess on the field. I'm not sure that is going to happen. But for Don Morell again, let's talk about how high the bar is set here at Wabash here. If they had lost this game, this would have been the first time since they joined the NCAC 21 years ago that they would have lost 4 games in a conference season. There's not been a losing season for Wabash since 1990. And all of that stuff is wiped away. You just won the bell. You just beat your biggest rival. In a lot of folks' mind, this became a successful season for Wabash College.
That is the beauty of this game. Look, when I run into football alumni, oftentimes it's not, how was your senior year? It's oftentimes, did you win the bell? What was your bell record? Right? Brad's looking at me like, yep, I've heard that question before. So that's the beauty of this game, though. You're able to salvage a season. Wabash had lost 3 of the last 4 games coming in here, just where it was not feeling good. But season among itself, if we had any other game where we were playing anybody else without a rivalry like this, then the season kind of just fades away. This is always an exclamation part at the end of the season to look forward to.
And again, this is not the scenario Brett Dietz had hoped for, but the good news is for DePauw, your season is not over. You know you are playing next Saturday. How quickly can you put this one behind you and get on to the next one?
Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, it really is. This isn't one you just kind of put behind you and go to the next week. Like Steve was saying, this is going to stay with you forever, win or lose. But, hey, the good news is these kids, especially these seniors, get an opportunity to play football. DePauw's proven they're a good team. I mean, you don't go 8-1 in the conference play and, not do some make the playoffs and have a good year. So, I mean, this is a team that can go toe-to-toe with some others in Division III, but it's going to be a tough week and a tough loss to recover from. But, hey, you got at least one more football game and hopefully more if you're DePauw.
And likely starting. Sorry, Greg. I was going to say likely starting off with probably a power in the regional, because after losing this, probably not going to get a great seed.
Yeah, that's the tough thing. Now they're going to have a much tougher game, probably. Yeah.
42-35, the final score. Wabash wins it. The bell being lifted, and that thing will be ringing all night long, well into tomorrow here on the campus of Wabash College. Final thoughts when we come back, as you've been watching 127th Monon Bell Classic right here on the ISC Sports Network.
Let's talk about Wabash housing. Maybe you think it's the same at every college. Tiny rooms, old buildings, no choice? Think again. We've got 10 residence halls and 10 national fraternities. No matter what you choose, you'll have access to laundry, kitchens, and common rooms with games, TVs, even instruments. Long story short, the choice is up to you. On-campus living is required, but with the options available, you'll know this is home.
At DePauw, our campus is among the 50 most beautiful in the nation, and our student athletes compete in top-of-class and historic venues. Our grounds feature iconic buildings like East College, a 520-acre nature park, and a 5-acre campus farm. Our campus is highly collaborative and connected, with faculty and staff members supporting students, their passions, and their achievements. This is more than just a place, it's who we are. Come visit us and be a Tiger for the day.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now, because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Our final time back with you from Crawfordsville this afternoon here on the ISC Sports Network. I want to make sure we give some thank yous. Thank you to Jim Amadon and Brent Harris. Those are the folks that we deal with from Wabash College that have been so gracious with their time, knowing that we as ISC are broadcasting this game for the first time. Their counterparts at DePauw, Bill Wagner, Brad Hodder, AD Stevie Baker-Watson, they were tremendous to deal with as well, and we certainly hope that we have the privilege and the honor of returning the favor at Blackstock Stadium, Nick Moroza's field in Greencastle, some 52 weeks from now. Again, for DePauw, their regular season finishes at 8-2. They are still champions of the North Coast Athletic Conference for the first time since they joined the league in 2012. They are going to the Division III playoffs for the first time since 2010. But if you run across a Wabash person and say, hey, that's all great, we won the Bell game. 42-35 is the final score today. We're going to try to see if we can land one more interview if there's time with Derek Schultz. Much like this is my first Bell experience. It's going to be tough to top this one. First game back after a 2-year hiatus. This wonderful brand new stadium. Again, Frank Navarro Field here at Little Giant Stadium. A great day if you're a Wabash alum or a fan, of course, but again, because we did not play this game last year, it was simply a great day, period. And the scenes you have seen over the last 3+ hours, this is what makes this one of the best college football games played every year. Not in Division III, not in the state of Indiana, period, end of sentence. Just like the one that is next to that W there at the center of the field. Brad, again, your team season, if you will carry on, but your final thoughts on this one.
Well, I think one thing, it's great, like we said, after 2 years to be back to this game, but it's great to have this game be such a good back and forth again. There was a period not too long ago where this was not a very fun game for DePauw players, fans, alumni alike. We've seen 5 years in a row now where this has been a good back and forth, the bell exchanging hands, close game, one possession, and that's what you want to see in this rivalry. And for DePauw, look, some mistakes in the second half, really starting in the second quarter, but they're fixable. Some bad penalties, some bad timing on routes, some poor tackling. These are things DePauw and Brent Dietz can figure out and get fixed in time for the playoffs next week. But congrats to Wabash. What an amazing comeback.
Steve, the winner gets the final word. Your thoughts on the Little Giants bringing the bell back to Crawfordsville?
I think Brad hit it well when he said the first game in 2 years. It just feels good to have this rivalry going again, and just a crazy Monon Bell game, just a typical Monon Bell game. Just some weird things happening. And this one, the strange thing wasn't a play or any specific thing or any specific call. It was just the momentum shifts throughout the day. I mean, to see DePauw go up 21-0 and wasn't even close. Wabash's offense not getting any first downs. Wabash's defense not getting any resistance. making any resistance to the DePauw offense. And then just somehow things switched around. The defense started making plays. Wabash started running the ball, which I think was really the turning point when you get Donovan Snyder with 130 yards and Wabash rushing the ball for, I think it was about 290 compared to under 100 for DePauw. I think that was the difference.
All right, some of the numbers that Steve just referenced. Chase Andrews, his final bell game, 26 for 40, 320 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Running the football, Gus Baumgartner, 19 carries for 80 yards for DePauw. For Wabash, Leon Thompson, one of the best passers in Division III, wasn't his best day passing the football. 14 for 24 for 163 yards, however. 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. But as Steve alluded to, the story of the day for Wabash was the ground game. 53 carries, 232 yards, and 3 touchdowns. There were a total of 77 offensive plays run by Wabash in this game. 53 of those were on the ground. Where that bell is heading, who knows at this point? Again, you can use a little echolocation to track it down throughout campus for the remainder of the night. Gentlemen, again, I've had the privilege of knowing and working with you guys over the course of the last 20 years, but today was an absolute blast. Brad and Steve, thank you very much.
Thank you. Great time.
Thanks to our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew, Dennis Glover, Elijah Mash, Greg Mash, Eldon Wheeler, Brian Pierce, Daryl Tibbs, Wes Wolf, and Derek Schultz. My name is Greg Rakestraw, and I hope we can do this again some 364 days from now. Thanks for joining us for the 127th playing of the Monon Bell Classic. Wabash a winner, 42-35. Thanks for joining us right here on the ISC Sports Network. Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness.
122.60 for Penn. What a swim. 6 of them.